Aloha, good evening, everyone. On this pleasant Friday night from Lehi, Utah, this is the place for a Region 3 showdown, part of Lone Peak football, presented by G2G Protein Bar. Tonight, Lehi celebrates senior night as the two-time defending 5A champs face off against one of the 6A standard bearers in the Lone Peak Knights. With my broadcast partner, the KSL Sports Zone, Jake Hatch, Alexander Timiller joining you from Lehi, and this is the Lehi Pioneers Stadium. So, Jake, I turn to you. The first thing I say is the first overarching theme we noticed tonight is these are two teams very evenly matched on paper. It's going to come down to a matter of execution here tonight.
Now, a lot of people might look at the records and say they're not evenly matched, but you're talking about one of the true 6A powerhouses in the Lone Peak Knights. We're having a down year by their own standards, and the thing about the Lehi is they made the leap up from 5A last year. So you're right. This is going to be a really, really fun. This is essentially a crosstown battle because Lone Peak's a stone's throw away from us here. We're just on the right next to I-15, and they're just up Highway 92 up there. So this should be really fun. I'm looking forward to this. This should be a back-and-forth battle. Interested to see how both of these defenses contain the opposing offenses.
And they have some really tough challenges ahead of them tonight. Of course, Lone Peak's defense found some magic in the game you called against AF a couple of weeks ago, but then got shellacked last week by Skyridge on the road in their Highway 92 showdown. And, of course, Lehi, they got 62 points put up on them by American Fork 2 weeks ago, but then they got a get-fat win last week against Westlake. So you're right, Hatch. It could come down very well to which team contains the other because both these defenses are tremendous.
Yeah, and that's the thing about this. This should be just going back and forth, and we just found out that Lone Peak will receive the ball to start this game, so looking forward to that. This is fun because Lehi has been dominating the 5A ranks the last few years, and then they made the leap up. They joined Region 3, which is the old Region 4, essentially, which we used to call all the time in the broadcasts I've done, called the SEC of Utah High School football. Well, Region 3 is the new moniker for it, and Lehi is very much added to the depth and breadth of that league, and this is a big opportunity for the Pioneers. They have not. I don't know how many times they've ever played Lone Peak in their history. Probably not very often because they've been in different divisions for so long. But it's fun for them to get the opportunity to have Lone Peak on their home field on senior night.
And speaking of which, now let's go into our keys to the game, presented by Heidemann & Associates, the full-service law firm focused on winning for you, the clients. All right, Hatch, what do you got that stands out to you on both sides tonight for both teams to walk out of here with a dub?
Number one thing, I'll start with the visitors with Lone Peak. I have called a few of their games this season. They've been too one-dimensional all season long when I've called their games. And that means the passing games are going. Their running game has very much been lacking. They've got to find a way to get some ground game going to give themselves a chance to control the clock, control the tempo of this game, give themselves a chance to win it on the road. Whereas Lehi, just do what you do. This is home field. Take advantage of that. Don't make mistakes. Do not give the Lone Peak Knights short fields with dumb turnovers. Don't make boneheaded mistakes when it comes to penalties, and they should be okay.
Lehi taking the field, of course, in their home gray uniforms tonight in front of a crowd. Hatch, that was the gates open here at 5:30, and this is the Lehi Pioneers Stadium, and people were literally sprinting into the stands to find good spots. This is how much this team means to this community, and it's amazing to see just how much passion the Pioneers and their fan base have, especially for tonight taking on a 6A standard bearer like Lone Peak.
Well, the funny thing about it is just how much Lehi has grown, honestly, because this used to be a school. It's a 3A to 2A school, so it has grown up a lot in the recent past. And obviously, I don't live too far from here. It's quite literally down the street from my house, where I live out in Saratoga Springs. It's really fun to see the community, as you mentioned, embracing this program. But the fun part is they've got a really, really good football program to support at the same time.
They are ready to rock the house tonight here at This Is the Place Pioneer Stadium. Of course, head coach Ed Larson with this patented, what I call, of course, the Lake Coast offense, that West Coast air raid hybrid.
Yeah.
It should be interesting to see.
Yeah, it will be. The nice part is he's got athletes on both sides of the ball here. Very much looking forward to seeing how they both show out. Biggest thing also to watch for Lone Peak is you got to watch the Mayberry boys. Jaden and Jay Sean, they're very, very good with the ball in their hands. They can get opportunities to get in the open field. Watch out.
Gavin Fenn, who was on the state runner-up, Pioneer soccer team. Matthias Nawahine, Trey Robinson to receive. Settle back in, buckle up. As Fenn sends us away in the kickoff, we'll go through the end zone for a touchback.
Good kick there. Geez, all the way through the back of the end zone. You don't see that very often at Utah high school level, so nice kick there to kick off the game.
So out steps this offense, and we talked about it early on. I mean, just so much inconsistencies on offense throughout the season, Hatch, with all the injuries, with Lone Peak down to Luke Christensen, the sophomore, making his second start last week against Skyridge. Struggled last week. This is another tough defense he's got to face here in the opening salvo against Lehi.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he settles into this game, obviously, because that's going to be a critical part of any chance they have on the road here getting the victory. He's got to be able to play consistent football from that quarterback position.
They go double wide receiver to the right, H-back in the backfield with Brooks Wild, the tailback. It's a play-action pass on first down, and the throw goes to Wild, and he gets smothered. Not much room there. Brought down by Max Ray, coming up from his strong safety position.
Yeah, nice tackle there by Ray, sniffing that out of the backfield there. That's going to be a critical thing here, is to get guys from Lone Peak into space, as I mentioned with the Mayberry boys. Just simply any one of their weapons, they've got to be able to make plays in the open field. Conversely, you got to have Lehi be able to slow them down.
So 2nd and 11 now for Lone Peak. They lost a yard on the play. Christensen in the pistol this time, and he fakes the handoff to Wild. He throws, and that is incomplete. Looking over the middle for Seth Haskett. And it brings up a very quick third down here for the Lone Peak offense.
I'm not going to lie, initially, Alex, I thought that was a miscommunication on the route. I thought he was trying to go deep, whereas Mayberry was running a go route, but then you see the wide receiver pop up. That's the thing about this. You have from Christensen, you got to see him be able to make those short passes, because that's what's going to open up this offense, is being able to get consistent yards. 3rd and 11, that's not a winning combination right now for Lone Peak.
And moreover, they're behind the sticks on 3rd down, which makes it even harder. Play clock inside of 10 here on this play for Christensen. Double wide receivers to the left with Brooks Wild, the tailback. Play action. Christensen steps up. He goes down. Ball's out.
Lehi's got it.
It looks like Lehi's got it. No signal from the officials yet. And it's theirs. Penissimani Taki knocked it out. And the Pioneers have instant field position inside the red zone.
Yeah, well, what did I talk about with regards to turnover? Turnover margin will typically win or lose football games for you. That's a critical mistake on the first series there for Lehi on Lone Peak on offense. Now a big opportunity for the Pioneers on offense.
So Jet New comes out. Kolose Latu is the tailback starting tonight in place of Devon Eka. New from the 15 on first down. Play action right to the air and to the end zone, and it's broken up. What a play there by Jaden Mayberry, dropping back and getting a hand on it.
Yeah, Jaden Mayberry doesn't put a hand on that. That's an easy 6 there. So great play by him in space there to get that pass deflection, the breakup.
So Eka now comes into the game. Grayson Brasso rotates out. He started as the H-back. Double backs here for Jet Niu on 2nd and 10 from the 16-yard line. Niu hands off to Eka. Eka trying to get outside, gets a block, trying to get that edge. He does! Outside the numbers at the 10, and he gets taken down inside the 5, and that is going to be a first down. Landon Goff, the right side corner, finally escorted him out.
Yeah, great run there. Great blocking up front by that Lehi offensive line. Good job by them just kind of sealing that edge there. And that's exactly what you need on those wide sweep plays there, Alex. You got to have guys that can get around the edge. And you have to have the blocks in front of you to do it.
So Lehi already threatening. He came up short of the line of game by about a yard. 3rd down and 1 now from the Lone Peak 6-yard line. Orbit motion to the backfield. Niu, pressure coming, screens it out. Latu, got a block. Latu going to get the first down, but he is going to be brought down at the 4-yard line. That was pretty well read again by Mayberry. Otherwise, that would have been another 6.
Yeah, great job. That was Matthias Nawahine actually on the tackle, I believe, from his corner position. But great tackle out there in space because that had 6 written all over it.
This has to be concerning for defensive coordinator Ryan Denny right now. Lone Peak has given up the opening score in all of their region games so far, including last week against Skyridge where they got boat raced.
Yep.
First and goal now from the 3, officially marked off at the 3.5. Latu with Brasso as the H-back. Play action. Niu to the right. Throws. End zone. Batted up. Touchdown! Grayson Brasso comes down with it in the end zone. Off the deflection, and Lehigh strikes first.
Okay, Grayson Brousseau, what patience there to stick with that, because that ball got tipped up, and he easily could have taken his eyes off it. He stuck with it, gets rewarded with that touchdown reception. As a result, great opening drive there for Lehigh, cashing in on the turnover by the Knights.
Gavin Fenn now for the extra point. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is good. And we look at the scoreboard, 10:26 to go here in the first quarter. Our score, Lehigh 7, Lone Peak nothing. We'll be back after this word from Igloo Outfitters on the Rewind Sports Network. Lehigh gets the short field and strikes quickly. Alexander Timup alongside Jake Hatch here at, this is the place, Pioneers Stadium here at Lehigh. Fenn to kick off with Robinson and Avahini back to receive the kickoff. And once again, Fenn's kickoff will go right through the end zone. And this time it goes off the top of the crossbar.
I have long said if you can do that at any level of football, I think it should count for points.
It should count for at least one.
Yeah, like, you know, we have the Rouge and the Canadian
Football League. That's right.
Something like that would be kind of fun, but obviously that's probably...
That's out of our league right now.
Yeah.
We'd have to have an extra guy on the field, too.
Something, yeah.
So out comes this Lone Peak offense again. Already down 7-0, and with 10:26 to go here in the first quarter. We're just underway. Handoff goes to Wild. Right side, breaks a tackle. Stays on his feet and finally gets swung down. Good pursuit by that defense for Lehigh.
Yeah, great job by Wild there, trying to get what he could out of it. I think they gave him officially a yard on the pickup. Oh, we got a flag down.
Yeah, we have a late flag, yes.
Somebody say something there?
Somebody must have said the magic
Taki's
word.
Got his hands up like he said the magic word and said, "Whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean, me?"
Kelly Woodbury, our white hat tonight, as they put their heads together, and
we got a discussion going on.
We got a discussion going on here as one of the linesmen's coming over to head coach Ed Larson here. Now Ed Larson walking out on the field.
We got Bart Brockman coming out to midfield here.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be a combo between the coaches and the officials to try and...
Somebody said something that they shouldn't have.
Yeah, somebody said something, and now we're having this conversation to, you know, just be clear, that's not going to be tolerated here tonight.
No, you don't typically see them bring the head coaches out to midfield to discuss it. So there was something said that it was... more concerning than what you typically would get in a sportsmanlike for.
I don't think he said Happy Halloween. That's for sure. There is no way Taki said Happy Halloween to Kelly Woodbury's umpire right there. We'll see what
Brockbank's going to talk to his guys, and Larson's walking back to his sideline.
So Kelly Woodbury says it's unsportsmanlike conduct against Lehigh,
and
he got thrown out. Oh my! Well now. That certainly changes things here, Hatch.
Yeah,
because that is a huge loss for Lehigh. Wow. With Taki out, that's a big piece of Jared Harward's defense that just got booted.
We got another flag.
And now we got another flag out.
The Lehigh staff just got flagged. There's going to be another 15 yards tacked onto this.
Well.
You got to keep your head.
Yes. The emotions are running high already. It's a senior night thing as Kelly Woodbury signals for a sideline warning against Lehigh. So Penissimani Taki booted with 10 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the very first quarter.
Wow.
That could change things dramatically here.
Very good defensive end out of this game. It's big.
That's a big loss on that right side for that defense as Christensen on first down. Throws. That pass is nearly picked off. It was deflected and incomplete. Intended on the slant there for Mayberry.
Luke Christensen living a little dangerously there. That pass, trying to get in between traffic there. And I guess trying to make a play there. But, man, that's asking for trouble if you're going to fire him into positions like that.
Alexander Timolev, Jake Hatch along with you here at This Is the Place Pioneer Stadium. In case you missed it, Lone Peak turned it over on their first possession, and then Lehi promptly scored. But Lone Peak starting to trying to build some rhythm here with Panisimani Taki ejected for unsportsmanlike conduct. Here's Brooks Wild right side. He gets through a gap, and he gets brought down after pickup about maybe 5 yards.
That's more of what you need to see if you're Lone Peak here, him knifing through that offensive line and finding positive yards. When it goes to 3rd and 5 here, it's completely different than what they've been looking at with 3rd and 11, 3rd and 9, these situations they found themselves in.
Fuamama made the stop, by the way, number 32. As the crowd here at Pioneer Stadium trying to turn up the volume knob a bit. Wild again, the tailback, and we have another flag, and I think I know.
Offside.
That's going to be offside against Lehi, so.
Alex, what did I talk about in pregame for Lehi?
That's a lot of the penalties. That's already their 3rd one here on this drive. Yeah, the sideline warning doesn't technically count as a penalty, but that's another one that leads to a first down, and that's got to drive Ed Larson crazy.
Yeah, his guys, they got to be playing cleaner football here. I get, like you mentioned, it's senior night. Here's a lot of emotions running high, obviously, but you got to play cleaner football than this if you're the Pioneers.
Double wide receivers in the set. Brooks Wild, the tailback, to the left hip pocket of Luke Christensen. Christensen looking, sprints out to the right, now throws. That's complete, sitting in the zone. And making the catch out there is Mayberry before he gets wrestled to the turf by Isaiah Allen.
Yeah, good job by Mayberry there, as you mentioned, settling down on that scramble drill. And nice pass by Christensen. Problem is, though, Alex, he bailed out of that pocket and found himself in heat because he bailed early. He's got to trust his guys in front of him and step up into that pocket rather than trying to bail to the outside.
Yeah, Grayson Brusso was speeding right into his grill on that play. 2nd down and 5 now. Market officially 6 from midfield even. Here is Wild on the handoff. Breaks a tackle, and he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage before he gets swallowed up. Broke a couple of tackles there before Paul Latu, the Mike linebacker, came in and finished him off.
Yeah, he had a guy hitting him the second he got that ball, essentially. And that's something, as I mentioned, kind of in the open. I've called a few of their games this year, speaking of the Knights, and that's been far too often what Brooks Wild has faced this year. He has a guy in his face the second he gets that football. As you mentioned, he breaks a couple of tackles, still a 1-yard loss.
So another 3rd down here for the Lone Peak Knights. They're 0 for 2, though they do have a first down via the penalty on 3rd down. This is 3rd down and 7 officially now from the 49-yard line. They're going to try to run it. Brooks Wild gets past a tackler and then gets ripped down in the backfield again. Boston Fabrizio coming up from that corner position.
Yeah, Fabrizio as well as Paul Latu coming up. That was too easy there for Lone Peak. For the Lehi, excuse me. And here's the thing. What's the thought process there, Alex? If you're going to run it on 3rd down, aren't you going for it on 4th? But apparently they're going to kick it away here. Playing field position, I guess. But my thought process, typically when you're running on 3rd down, you're setting up to go for it. But
it did seem that way, didn't it, Hatch? It seemed like that was the rationale.
It may have been if they got positive yards, they were going to go. I guess that's also the thought process there, too.
Yeah, if they got positive yardage. A good punt here. And this is caught on the run by Fabrizio. Gets past a tackler. Stays on his feet, trying to get to the outside. And a swarm of white shirts gets to him at about the 20-yard line.
All right, well, our second look here at Lehi coming up on offense. And obviously the first long field that they have faced tonight because they had that short field on that first touchdown.
Lone Peak Football on the Rewind Sports Network is presented by Heidemann & Associates, the flat rate law firm that's completely focused on you. You can get a free consultation by calling 801-472-7742. We're going to Utah.law to find the office nearest you. Alexander Timup alongside Jake Hatch here at This Is the Place Pioneers Stadium. About halfway through the first quarter here. Jet Niu on first down on his second drive. Throws, that's complete. Matson makes a man miss. Tries to get to the outside, and he gets taken down after positive yardage. Jackson Arrington came up to make the stop.
Okay, I don't know if people are noticing this early on in this game, Alex, but you've seen how much more space they're having on one side versus the other. It feels like it's just swarming when it comes to Lehi on defense. Right now, Lehi on offense is having all kinds of opportunity to find open guys. That's the difference in this game so far.
Second down and 8 now, or 2 now. Here's a handoff to Latu left side, and that was absolutely closed off. Easton Anderson dropped the shoulder pad right into Latu.
I've got a man crush on Easton Anderson because he lays the wood every time he gets an opportunity to do it. That was a big hit by him. Well done, obviously, making it a third down here.
I think he might have heard us, honestly, talking about how they're giving up too much space. That time, Latu had nowhere to run on the I-15 that time. So the first third down of the night here for the Pioneers. And it comes with 5.25 minutes here in the first quarter. Play clock down to 9. See what Ed Larson draws up out of this Lake Coast offense on third down. He throws, and that pass is incomplete. Might have been miscommunication.
Yeah, there was miscommunication there.
Ex-receiver Isaiah Mama, the intended receiver.
Mama
and it's
went
fourth down, and it's a very quick 3-and-out for the Lehi Lake Coast offense.
Yeah, Mama kind of went for that kind of deep, kind of just a post route almost, whereas it looked like Jet Niu was looking for an out route there, so obviously miscommunication on what route was supposed to be run there.
So Gavin Fem, one of the best punters in 6A and quite possibly one of the best in Utah. Again, he was a member of the state runner-up Lehi Pioneers soccer team of note. Of course, got to call that game as the snap bounces right to him, but he's able to get it off clean. Not one of his better ones, a bit of a wobbler. And Matias Dalahine will let it go. And it's going to take a pretty good sideway roll inside the 20, and it will tumble out of bounds at the 18-yard line. So mark it off officially as a 43-yard punt, no return, and that's where the Lone Peak offense will start. As we remind you that Igloo Outfitters is the closiest wearable sleeping bag that has you covered during the chilly days and nights of fall. You don't have to worry anymore about the weather and watch your favorite team in comfort with Igloo Outfitters. Go to igloooutfitters.com and enter the code REWIND for $20 off and never miss the moments you were meant to see.
Been meaning to get me one of them igloos, by the way. They look pretty.
They posted on the social accounts that they got the other day. I'm sure Jeff Hansen got lots of those. Anyway, here's Christensen on first down. Good protection for him this time. He bails, though, to his right. He gets across the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up about maybe 3.
Hey, positive yards are always good if you're Cole Christensen in this situation. But here's the thing. He's bailing out so quickly out of those pockets there. I think of Gary Trowbridge, their offensive coordinator, tell him, hey, calm down a little bit. Give it another count or two before you do get out of there. Let it develop a little bit, because that's the thing. Your wide receivers can only run so far before you bail out of there.
Yeah, it just comes with the inexperience, I think, at quarterback.
I would agree with you on that.
Not having Ike Staley in there, the senior, really not even having Jackson Blake in there, who was the starter for the first couple of weeks. Christensen on the option keeper this time, and he goes nowhere. Paul Latu was immediately in the backfield as the Lehi defense gets home again.
Yeah, Paul Latu's been very, very good early on in this game. He is sniffing everything out. Seemingly every big play in the backfield. Number 54 is there.
So another third down here for the Lone Peak offense. And Lone Peak so far has been at or behind the sticks every time they've had third down. They're 0 for 3 so far here in this first quarter. Play clock down to 4. And they just got it away. Christensen throws right side. That's complete. That is complete. And not having much room to run. That's Logan Hoffines, the Z receiver, and it's fourth down again.
Yeah. Isaiah Allen, by the way, what a great job out there in space making that tackle. That's really tough to do, obviously, for a cornerback, but a great job by him forcing another punt.
Fabricio and Madsen back to receive the punt. On 4th and 7 from the 23-yard line. And it's an end-over-end floating kick. That's going to take a forward bounce. Fabricio picked it up on the run. Risky play. But he's able to get across midfield for positive yardage.
Fabricio, wow, that was ballsy, because those balls, you never know how exactly it's going to bounce, but he read it perfectly and got a couple of positive yards as a result. That obviously sets them up with great field position on the plus side of the 50.
So here we are again, Hatch. I mean, this is another situation where Lehi's got a short field right now. They're starting at the 46-yard line. Mm-hmm. This is an opportunity for them to really go and pad the lead, because it's clear right now they cannot take advantage from... They couldn't take advantage on the long field, but on the short field, they've been pretty stellar so far.
Yeah, we had like an officials timeout here. I'm not sure what is going on at the moment. We got an... Not sure what the issue is.
They're all looking over to the sideline. I think the chain is broken over on that far side. They're trying to fix the chains.
Got it, okay.
On that far sideline. I was looking over, and they actually were trying to fix the chains over there, and now...
I think we had a clock malfunction as well.
And now the clock reads 1:56, and I don't think that's supposed to be how the clock's supposed to read.
Oh, yeah, they're resetting. They're adding time to the clock.
So they're going to reset the clock here.
Oh, they ran 30-plus seconds off. All right.
2:30 on the clock, says Kelly Woodbury. As they were trying to fix the chains over there on the far sideline. So now it looks like we're set.
Yep, here we go.
First down now and 10 from the 47 here for Lehi. Liu drops the pass. Pressure coming. Steps up in the pocket. Gets away. Now he's going to be brought down after positive yardage. Brought down on the play there by Gideon Hawkins.
Yeah, great job by Hawkins recognizing that New was going to try and escape out of that. New kept his eyes downfield as long as he could, but then Hawkins just swallowed him up. We got 2 yards there, so positive yardage always good, but good job by Hawkins to sniff it out in the end.
Under 2 minutes now here in the first quarter. Alexander Timop alongside Jake Hatch. This is the place, Pioneer Stadium. Lehi got off to a really good start, but it's petered out somewhat. Though Lehi's defense has been up to the task here early on defending this Lone Peak spread offense. Liu looking to pass. Nobody open. Tries to get away. Pressure coming. Now throws down the field. Got a man open. And it's incomplete. Right through the hands of the intended receiver. And it's third down coming up here from about the 46-ish yard line.
Yeah, look at Cooper there as the wide receiver had a chance at it. A great pass breakup in the end for the Lone Peak defense here. And another big opportunity. Oh, you got a flag down.
We got a roughing the passer, I think, here against Lone Peak.
Wow.
Kelly Woodbury's mic not working, but
well, that'll negate all the good that Lone Peak just did on that one defensive series right there, because all of a sudden it's a first down again, and even shorter field suddenly for Lehi.
So both sides been plagued by penalties here so far. So 1st and 10 from the 29 following the roughing the passer. Approaching 90 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Liu drops back to pass. Looking, throws over the middle. That's complete. And making the catch is Tyson Greenwood. And that is a first down inside the 12.
That's more what I've been expecting from Jet New in this game. It's just him firing passes in there. That was an absolute beauty. A dart right there in on his receiver, and a nice catch.
So here we go into the red zone again for Lehi. 1st and 10 now at officially mark it off the 12-yard line. Approaching a minute to go here in the first quarter. Niu from the shotgun, Latu at his left hip, he drops the pass. Blitz is picked up, throw to the end zone, and it's incomplete. Thrown over the head of Grayson Russo on the play, and with the pressure, Junior Tahi coming up the gut.
Yeah, good job by Tahi there, coming free and forcing the errant throw there. You need more of that if you're Lone Peak on defense here. The problem is Lone Peak, when their defense has been their best in the last few years, is when they've been able to get pressure with 4. You notice they had to bring 6 guys on that one to get pressure in Jet New's face.
Yeah, that's got to be concerning for Ryan Denny that they have to bring extra guys, and it
makes him tear his hair out, I can tell you that.
He might not have any hair left. 2nd down and 10 now from the 12. Handoff on the sweep to Latu. Latu breaks the tackle and then gets smothered. Mayberry the first contact, and then your guy, Anderson. Yep. And it's another 3rd down and long here for this Lehi offense.
Yeah, great job there by the Lone Peak defense, just stringing that out in the end. Obviously, came very close in terms of Mayberry getting that tackle for loss. Ends up as a no gain in the end.
Big 3rd down here for Lehi. Remember the last time they had a 3rd down, they did not convert. 0 for 1 in this quarter on 3rd downs. And that led to a punt. What will likely be the last play of the first quarter. 3rd down and 10 now. And we have a signal and a timeout called by Lehi and Ed Larson. And we will take one with them as well. Lone Peak trying to stand tall with Lehi threatening in the red zone. Alexander Timov alongside the KSL Sports Zone's Jake Hatch here with Lehi facing a 3rd down and a long 10 from the Lone Peak 13 on this Friday night. Kickoff temperature was close to 65 degrees, but it's supposed to fall.
It's football weather.
It is football weather.
We're in October.
It is a beautiful night. 3rd down and 10. Lone Peak student section across the way trying to turn up the volume knob as Niu drops the pass. He's protected, throws to the end zone, and nobody open in the vicinity of that pass. Looking for Cooper. And it's 4th down, and Gavin Fenn will lead the field goal unit on here for the Pioneers.
I've only got one minor question. What are you doing throwing into triple team traffic there? That's what it felt like in that respect. But, hey, you get points out of it all the same if you can make this field goal here. But that's the one that he was locked onto that receiver from the get-go there, and there were 3 white shirts around 1 gray shirt.
So this from the 12-yard line, so this will be, call it, 29 yards. Out of the hold of Greenwood. Good snap, good hold. Fenn's kick is good. And the 29-yarder goes through as the Lehi Pioneers pad their lead to 10-0 late here in the first quarter. But Hatch, you have to feel with Lone Peak having their feet to the fire there defensively inside the red zone. That has to be a little win for them.
Yeah.
Coming away with giving only 3 points away on that one.
Yeah, Coach Brockbank and Coach Denny will be over on the sideline saying, hey, guys, good job there. You slowed them down enough. 3 points is better than 7 there. Obviously, they're down 2 scores here, but 10 is different than 14. That's the biggest message they're being passing their guys. The biggest thing for Lone Peak is they got to find some offense, Alex. We talked about this coming into this game. You need to get some offense going here, and it's been tough sledding so far for the Knights.
Yeah, that has been the problem. Their Achilles heel all year long has been their offense, but they have always been able to lean on their defense. They did it a couple of weeks ago at home against AF, but this is a much different animal they're facing in the Lehi Pioneers. As Fenn's kickoff will once again travel into the end zone, and it will be a touchback. And it will bring Luke Christensen and the offense back out to the field. And Hatch, you were talking about how Christensen has been bailing a lot early in the play from the pocket. You feel that's kind of the thing with him being inexperienced like that.
Yeah.
Not having the patience to let the play develop.
Correct. That's the biggest thing is he's a young quarterback, as you mentioned, and he's the 3rd guy they've played at the position this year.
Well, looky here.
Oh, hey.
Jackson Blake is back in.
Oh, what is this? Wow. Okay. Well, hey.
Well, look at this.
I'm taking everything back I just said.
I recant my statement. How about that? Blake on 1st down. He throws on 1st down. That is complete. And making the catch is Trey Robinson.
Hey, the one thing Jackson Blake offers is more of that veteran presence out there at quarterback. I was just not necessarily expecting him to play in this game. So we're at the end of 1 here, but hey, we've seen Jackson Blake play tonight already.
Well, Jackson Blake comes in and he immediately completes a pass as the Pioneers will take a 10-0 lead into the second quarter. This is Lone Peak football presented by G2G on the Rewind Sports Network. quickly back in here. Welcome back to This is the Place, Pioneers Stadium. Jackson Blake in a quarterback for Lone Peak. He faces the pressure and throws. That's complete. And making the catch and getting out the first down. The first down of the game for Lone Peak, complete to Logan Hoffhines.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, two very nice passes there by Jackson Blake. A guy that I honestly, trust me, coming into this game, I did not expect to see him out there, but it's been two nice back-to-back plays for him. We'll see if we can get this offense to settle down, as you mentioned, because that's their first down of the game offensively.
Alexander Timub alongside the KSL Sports Zone's Jake Hatch in Lehi. Lone Peak trails 10-0, but Jackson Blake from the pistol now with triple wide receivers to his right, looking to provide a spark for this Lone Peak offense that desperately needs one. He throws up the sideline, and it is caught! What a catch! Trey Robinson!
That's something that's been severely lacking in this offense, is the ability to get the ball down the field to guys like Trey Robinson. Trey Robinson is a cheat code for this offense when you get him the ball. The problem is they haven't been able to get him the ball consistently enough.
What a great throw by Blake, too, in one-on-one coverage against Boston Fabrizio. Now Lone Peak suddenly is across midfield here. Lehigh crowd getting a little bit restless here, sensing the momentum shifting. Here's Brooks Wild on the handoff. And he gets through a crease. He'll pick up about maybe 2 yards, brought down by a host of Pioneers led by the Will linebacker Carson Wren et al. On the play.
Yeah, quite literally any positive yardage in the rushing game at this point is something to help balance what Lone Peak's doing. And obviously, pick up a 2 there was not an easy run there for Brooks Wild, but it's just enough.
We want to remind you guys, people watching at home, that there is no Penisimani Taki. He was ejected in the first quarter on the 3rd play of the game, or on the 6th play of the game,
Correct,
for taunting. Blake on second down. He throws. That is broken up. It looked like it was tipped, too. Isaiah Allen makes the play on Mayberry.
Yeah, great job there by Isaiah Allen to break that pass up there, because that had eyes to settle right into the breadbasket there for Mayberry.
Of course, we have Allen's family members sitting in front of us here in the press box. And it's another 3rd down. Lone Peak has still not converted a 3rd down. They are 0 for 3. But this could be a situation where it could be 4-down territory here for the Knights. Triple wide receiver lines up to the right. Blake, blitz coming. He throws, and it's nearly intercepted. And there's a penalty flag down in the area where Robinson was. Fabrizio was in coverage.
Yeah, but
and if that hatches pass interference, I'm not so sure about that one. That looked like it was pretty clean.
Yeah, I didn't see anything
unless they think he bodied him off. And it's a holding, so it was not pass interference.
It's still going to result in a 1st down with the yardage, but wow, that's interesting, because I thought it was just a miscommunication on the route there, and the receiver was going one way, Jackson Blake was throwing it another, but okay, hey.
So now Lone Peak at the 28-yard line now, 1st and 10, following the penalty. Navahine lines up bottom of the screen. Play action. Blake. Pump fakes, throws to the left, and just throws it away into the direction of the Lone Peak bench, pressured on the play by Wren.
Yeah, he was trying to find his guy there on the sideline there with good coverage, and a decision by him to finally just get it out there and get it out of bounds. Live to fight another down here.
Jackson Blake, who started the opener against Bingham, struggled against Timpview, benched against Timpview, or rather was hurt against Timpview, then got benched a couple of weeks later for Ike Staley. And now with Luke Christensen, the sophomore, struggling, he's back in for the first time in a few weeks. Jackson throws, pass deflected and incomplete. Looked like he was trying to find Hoffhines on that RPO play, but good pressure up front, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, Paul Lotz, who got his hand up and deflected. He had a chance, had he recognized maybe a second earlier, he had a chance to pick that pass off there. He was sitting right in the alley.
So another 3rd down here for Lone Peak. This could be 4-down territory for the Knights here, for offensive coordinator Gary Trowbridge, depending on what they want to do. Play clock down to 15, now down to 10. Jackson Blake, screen, and that is blown up. Carson Wren read that beautifully. And Brooks Wild is brought down, and it'll be 4th down. And we'll see what offensive coordinator Gary Trowbridge Hatch decides to do here.
Yeah, Carson Wren read that nicely, as you mentioned there. It was a middle screen trying to be set up there, and obviously a great catch, all things considered, by Brooks Wild to even haul that in, with Carson Wren trying to drag him down the second he got his hands on it.
So it looks like they're going to try for a field goal here. With Adam Connors on to attempt a field goal. This field goal from 45 yards. Heading with the wind. Good snap, good hold. Connors' kick looks good. It is good.
All right. Hey.
Connors knocks it through, and Lone Peak gets a much-needed score.
Yeah, that should settle down the Knights' offense here a little bit, make them feel like, hey, we can do some stuff.
Want to remind you that KSLSports.com and the Rewind Sports Network's coverage of Lone Peak football is presented by G2G Protein Bar. We're also presented by doTERRA, a proud sponsor of Lone Peak football, the products that help athletes around the world maintain the highest level of health awareness and wellness. Learn more about how you can up your health and wellness game at doTERRA.com. And we're also presented by Tire Factory Point S. No stress with Point S Tire and Auto Service. Tire Factory Point S and American Fork is a proud sponsor of Lone Peak football on the Rewind Sports Network.
Interesting. I was watching Coach Brockbank. He was having a conversation with our white hat out there, our head official. I'm not sure what the conversation was about, but he had something to say about that last series. I'm not sure what it was, though. Always curious when you see the coach walk out and is having a pretty animated conversation.
Wouldn't we always like to know what the coaches are saying to the officials?
Sure, yeah. I always want to be a fly on the wall of those. Absolutely. I'm all about that.
Adam Connors to kick off. It's a line drive kick that will head towards the corner and bounce and hit Madsen. Madsen tries to get outside, gets a couple of blocks, but then he gets taken down from behind. Good coverage there by that Lone Peak team. It was, I believe it was Landon Goff on the special teams that brought him down, and now Lehi has the football back.
I'm going to give Madsen all kinds of credit there. For him to have that ball bounce off his feet, to pick it up, and to get out to where he got to, where we at? We had the 24-yard line, considering he had Lone Peak bearing down on him. He showed off his wheels there to pick up that yardage there. Well done.
So back to work, jetting you with double backs in this, well, what I deem, of course, the West Coast air raid offense hybrid, the Lake Coast offense.
I like it.
On 1st and 10 from the 24. Niu throws up a sideline, and that is incomplete. It is incomplete.
Great job of Matthias.
Isaiah Mama could not get his right foot down before he had control of the ball.
Yeah, Matthias Nawahine out there, the lockdown corner for the Knights, was all over him on that, and a great job by him. Make sure he was driving him towards the sideline there. And, hey, I got to give Mama credit. He tried to get that foot down just an inch too wide.
Isaiah Mama got his left foot down, but his right foot was down out of bounds before he had control of the ball. So this Lehi offense hitting a bit of a rough patch here after starting out so hot. Second down, handoff to Eka, and he gets stonewalled in the backfield. Gideon Hawkins, the defensive tackle, along with Josh Empey.
Yeah, great job by that interior, the defensive line there for Lone Peak. They're not the biggest guys there on the interior. Neither is Lehi, I'll admit, but great job by them keeping their leverage there and getting the tackle as a result, making it 3rd and 10.
So Lehi now facing a 3rd down. They're second of the night. By the way, no one has converted a 3rd down yet in this game. Lone Peak 0 for 4, Lehi 0 for 1. Play clock down to 10. Blitz coming. Niu steps up in the pocket, throws wide open, got a man, 1st down. Grayson Brosso found himself wide open on that sideline.
Great job by Brosso finding himself some space in that zone, and Jet New stuck with it even though he had pressure coming in his face there, firing it in there. And obviously, as you mentioned, that's the first 3rd down conversion of the game for either team.
Yeah, both teams previously were 0 for 5 combined. Lehi, that's their first one. They're now 1 for 2. Lone Peak 0 for 4. Approach 8 minutes to go, second quarter rather. Alexander up alongside Jake Hatch as Eka gets it on the sweep near side. He's got a lane. Eka into the secondary, and he gets upended by Mayberry right at the marker, but he's going to move the sticks again for the Pioneers.
Great run there, obviously. Great yardage from Eka there, and going to be first down yardage. Nope, we're going to be about a yard short. Okay. I thought it was going to be right on the stick there, but looks like just a tad bit short.
Yeah, Devon Eka showing his wheels.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting to that edge is really nice.
Getting to that edge against that fast Lone Peak defense. Second down and less than a chain link to go here. Quick pass, that's complete. In the flat, that's Greenwood. Not going to get much, but he does get the first down.
Yeah, that's a nice play there. Those passes out to the outside, like those screen plays, they're essentially an extension of the run game. The whole idea is, hey, you just get the yardage you can get, and obviously I only needed the one to get the first down. That's exactly what you wanted.
That's a hallmark of that West Coast offense implemented by Bill Walsh back in the 80s.
Absolutely, you're dead on.
Long passes out to the sidelines trying to stretch the defense.
Use the length and breadth of the field if at all possible.
And you kind of do wonder how much they practice that as Eka takes the handoff and he gets stoned. Easton Anderson again. It looked like he had all sorts of room to run, Eka, but then he got closed off.
Yeah, I got to say, good job to Easton Anderson. He came from almost the backside of that play in a way and filled that hole nicely there. That's a great read by him and a great stick in the backfield.
Easton Anderson plays linebacker, but doesn't he remind you kind of, throw a Hawaii football reference, in one Leonard Peters of old?
Oh, yeah, nice reference there. I like that a lot, actually. That's actually a really good call on your part.
Fast downhill runner, and he's a big hitter. Niu on 2nd and 11, loss of a yard. 4 men on the rush. Niu in trouble. Needs to get rid of it. He throws, and it's incomplete at the feet of Tyson Greenwood. As they sent that 4-man rush right out, and that time they got through.
That's what you need to see if you're Lone Peak on defense. As you mentioned, that 4-man rush needs to get home, and it got home on that play. That's a huge development. If that can consistently happen this game, it's going to unlock a lot for Lone Peak defensively.
Gideon Hawkins et al., along with Josh Empey and Tegan Toll up there, got the pressure. And now another 3rd down and long here for the Pioneers. Their second one of this drive. They converted a 3rd and 9. Again, both sides combined 1 of 7 on 3rd downs. Or 1 of 6, rather, on 3rd downs. Niu, extra men on the rush. It's picked up. Niu throws sideline. Double coverage, doesn't matter. Grayson Brousseau again.
Hey, Grayson Brousseau, he is a route running extraordinaire. That was fantastic footwork by him to get himself open, obviously hauling that pass just before he went out of bounds there. Great job.
The Utah State commit showing off the wheels there. His second catch of the drive and the second 3rd down conversion of the drive as well. And both of them have been to Grayson Brousseau. Play clock running inside of 10 here. Doesn't look like Lehi had all the right personnel on the field. Double back set here. Play clock down to 3. And they get it away. Handoff left side. Breaking a couple of tackles. Eka puts his head down and picks up about maybe 3 yards.
Yeah, Jackson Arrington came off on the wrong side of that hit. Ends up getting the tackle in the end, but he took quite a shot from Eka right there, right into the chops.
He sure did. He took a lick. What's been a very long drive here for Lehi, now extending well over 4 minutes. What will we expect, though, from this West Coast / Air Raid offense that I've affectionately, of course, nicknamed the Lake Coast offense? 2nd down and 7 from the 30. Niu, pressure up the middle, throws, and it's broken up. Anderson again. He's been everywhere.
Yeah, he's been really, really good in this game. It's good to see these defenses both sniffing out plays. The offense have had their chances as well, but good to see these star defensive players getting their chance to show what they can do as well.
3rd down and 6 here from the 30. They are well within range for Gavin Fenn, because Fenn was hitting from well beyond 40 here in warm-ups.
Correct. This is their third down of the drive, right?
Yes, right. This is the third down of the drive here for Lehi. They converted a 3rd and 9, 3rd and 11, and now this is a 3rd and 6.
These are the drives that make defenses get absolutely worn out.
Brousseau lined up in the slot against the linebacker. Here comes the pressure on Niu. Drops the pass. Throws a wobbler. That is caught. Where are they going to mark it? It looks like it's going to be short of the first down. It was complete to Caleb Moore, who plays as the slot back. And it's going to be 4th down and a yard here for Lehi.
Yeah, C.J. Rubel with an incredible job coming off of his man. They're realizing the guy was coming open across the middle of the field, making that tackle there in the open field. I don't think this is much of a decision, honestly, for Lehi. 4th and 1 here. You got to be thinking, okay, let's get behind that big offensive line and get a first down.
Well, Devon Eka's already been stuffed a couple of times here on this drive. Ed Larson taking a bit of a risk here, rolling the dice. 4th and about a half a poor cash to go. It's a handoff to Latu. He's got it. Ball came out, but after he was down.
It's a great job by the left side of that Lehi offensive line led by UCLA commit Jensen Somerville out there. They really got a good job collapsing the right side of Lone Peak's D line and giving him an easy lane to get the first down.
4.5 minutes to go here in the first half. Alexander Tim up alongside the KSL Sports Zone's Jake Hatch. And what's been a long march here for this Lehi offense, a drive that started back at their 24.
Yeah, these are back-breaking drives if you're a defensive player.
Absolutely. Pritz coming on Niu. He drops, he throws. That's complete. That's Greenwood on the crossing pattern. Steps out of a tackle. Greenwood to the end zone. Touchdown, Lehi!
All right, I got to give mad props to that young man. He was dead to rights there on that tackle, steps out of it and races for the end zone. What a touchdown there for the Lehi Pioneers.
A long march ends in the end zone, a 76-yard drive for the Lehi Pioneers. Gavin Fenn for the extra point, and it is good. 17-3 in favor of the Lehi Pioneers. We'll take a quick break and be back on the Rewind Sports Network. Alexander Timothy alongside the KSL Sports Zone's Jake Hatch as one of the seniors, Jensen Somerville, rings the bell down on the sideline. Lehi up 17-3. With about 4 minutes to go here in the first half, Tyson Greenwood into the end zone to cap a 76-yard drive.
And what a play by Greenwood, by the way, to get himself out of what appeared to be a sure tackle there, and he gets out and scores.
Fenn's kickoff again travels right through the back of the end zone. And so Lone Peak with Jackson Blake as the quarterback. Hatch, it seems like they got some rhythm going on their last drive, and this is still doable for them. Yeah, but now you're staring down a 14-point deficit, what was once a 10-point deficit. Right.
Yeah, this is an opportunity. There's 4 minutes and 3 seconds to go here in the half. We talk about 4-minute offense. This is a chance to finish this half on a positive note if you can manage the clock correctly and obviously move your offense here. Big opportunity for the Knights here to finish the half on a positive note.
Lone Peak, by the way, will get the football to start half number 2.
Which would be big to have points on either side of halftime.
True. Blake on first down, looking, throws over the middle, wide open, it's complete. Logan Hoffines trying to get away. He breaks the tackle, still on his feet, and he's down to the 37-yard line.
Hey, you want to start to drive the right way, do that. Have a guy crossing across the middle of the field and fire it in there. Great job by Hoffines, great throw by Blake.
54 yards on the play. Logan Hoffines now gone over 100 yards here in the first half receiving. Jackson Blake making his return known here to the Lone Peak faithful.
He's been very good so far.
1st and 10 from the 37-yard line. Play action. Screen set up. Intercepted! Intercepted on the play. Alema Tamala comes away with the interception.
All right, I love big men when they make a play. Alema Tamala read that perfectly, just reached up with those big bear paws and said, I'll take that, thank you very much. Only thing would have been better, he takes it to the house.
He was one tackle away from getting to the end zone, the second turnover forced by Lehi tonight.
It's a great play there by that big man in the middle of the defense. He does a lot of the grunt work there as a defensive tackle, but a great play by him to read that, obviously, and come down with the interception.
Alema Tamala, one of the seniors playing his last home game. Patrolling the middle. The defensive coordinator, Jared Hardward's got to love that. 1st and 10 now from the 40. Niu right back to work. Plenty of time. Steps up, throws, caught! Out of bounds is Madsen. Inside the 25. And another first down.
Great job by Maze Madsen to find himself alone out there. And also, obviously, a great job by Jet New to throw that back across the field and find his receiver. They cashed in the first turnover of the game for 7 points, looking to do that again here.
And it would put Lone Peak really behind the 8 ball here late in the first half. Double wide receivers on the play, 1 to each side. Here's a sweep to the near side to Eka. Or that's Latu. Breaks a couple of tackles. Flag goes down at the 20.
Yeah, there's going to be a hold out here.
Yeah, I think it's coming back.
They're going to back him up a little bit, but all the same, this has been very impressive stuff, honestly, from Lehi on both sides of the ball so far. They've forced 2 turnovers. They've limited Lone Peak to the 3 points. And obviously, they're doing everything they want to do on offense right now.
Kelly Woodbury, we'll hear from him again. Riker Peterson, the right guard, called for the holding. And they're going to mark it off from the line of scrimmage. The 10 yards, so it'll be first and call it 20.
It's not going to be 20, though. That's the thing.
Doesn't look like 20, though, does it? Looks like about 16 or 17.
It's from the spot of the foul, so that's what? It was a little bit, he said it was downfield, so it's about 1st and 17. Yeah, you're right, I think. Yeah,
first
18,
about 1st and 16 or 17. Third penalty called, by the way, on Lehi. Niu, blitz coming off the edge. It's picked up, though. He gets away, but he gets brought down. Josh Empey.
Great job by Josh Empey there, climbing up in the pocket and then obviously retreating when he knew he was getting too far upfield. Gets a big play there and obviously a big sack as a result. That last name sounds familiar. He is the nephew of former BYU lineman James Empey. Oh, he's cousin of James Empey.
Who played across the way, but who played in a Lone Peak uniform, MBD.
Correct. Well, no, James was an American Fort Caveman.
But, excuse me, yes. Yeah. Got to get my geography
That's all right, no worries.
2nd down and 18 now from the 30. Niu throws, and that is incomplete. Probably better that it was not complete because Kolose Latu had 2 or 3 white shirts converging on him.
Yep, he was about to get punished for that one.
So to bring up another 3rd down and long, 3rd down and 18.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure you have many plays in your playbook for situations like this. I'm not going to lie, Alex.
I would love it if they just get up there and just throw the ball deep to Madsen or to Caleb Moore or one of the receivers. Here comes Madsen right now.
Here comes Madsen, yeah.
Play clock down to 10. Ed Larson a little indecisive here on this play. They're going to go 5 wide.
Yeah, they're probably going to call timeout here if they don't get it off.
They get it away, though. Blitz coming. Niu throws. That is deflected and incomplete. Threw it a little bit behind Caleb Moore. And it's 4th down, and we will more than likely, we're going to see the field goal unit here.
They're leaving the guys on the field for the moment. And run the clock down, it looks like. Yeah.
2 minutes and 8 seconds left, and here comes the field goal unit. So another big win for that Lone Peak defense, at least holding Lehi to a field goal attempt.
47-yard attempt.
This will be a 47-yarder here from Fenn. He made it from 29 earlier. Adam Connors, by the way, behind from 42 earlier to put the Knights on the board. Good snap, good hold, and Fenn's kick is blocked. Easton Anderson.
Got around the edge just enough to at least interrupt the kick in a way. I don't think he actually got a hand on it, but he interrupted the machinations of that kick, obviously resulting in the kick being missed. So that's an even bigger win for the Lone Peak Knights.
So the Lone Peak offense comes back on the field, and they dodge a major bullet.
Correct.
And they now have it 1st and 10 at the 20 because, of course, all kicks that go into the end zone are automatically ruled as touchbacks. Jackson Blake, 5 wide receivers from the 20-yard line, 1st and 10. Robinson lines up as the H-back, and we have a penalty flag for a false start.
Well, not an ideal start to the drive. Double clutch that snap.
Double
You got to make
clutch the
sure.
snap.
Well, can't do that.
That's Luke Sperry, the senior. You don't see him do that very often. Very experienced offensive line led by Sperry and Austin Pay, along with Misi Patane and Maddox Moss, Jared Smith on right tackle. Blake to throws up the seam, looking for Hoffines, and it's incomplete. Pass was uncatchable, but just to make sure, he got a whole lot of Max Ray, the strong safety, on the play.
Yeah, Hoffines was kind of fading out of the hashes there, whereas you had the throw come inside the hashes there, and obviously you cannot run through a guy to get to that ball.
17-3 Lehigh. Feels a lot wider than the scoreboard actually indicates because of the way Lehigh has played so far, but they have not been able to cash in on their opportunities. Lone Peak, by the way, will get the ball to start half number 2. Blake again, 5 wide receivers. He gets time this time, throws it behind Jaden Mayberry. It doesn't look like they were on the same page.
Yeah, it looked like he had audibled right before that play, but apparently did not get relayed clear enough to Mayberry there because he fired that out there. Mayberry was already coming in.
So Lone Peak facing another third down here. They still have not converted a third down here in this half. They are 0 for 5. Again, Lone Peak still has all 3 of their timeouts. Lehigh has 2. So they have a lot of time here. Well, the clock may not actually be on their side. 3rd down and 15. Blake was looking for the screen. Rolls to his right. Now he's going to take off with no room down the field, and he gets escorted out of bounds after a pickup of about maybe 7.
Yeah, taking what he could get, obviously, on that play there. Great job by the Lone Peak Lehigh on defense, making sure they didn't have any options down the field in the passing game and forcing the punt.
Cade Daly has been a very busy man here so far here in this first half. Mays Madsen, Fabrizio back deep here for the Pioneers. And we have a false start on Mayberry.
Mayberry can't be leaning back like that, young man. That's an easy one. You got to stay set. You can't. That's like an offensive lineman leaning back into his pass set. You can't do it.
5th penalty called on Lone Peak here in this first half. And the Gunners are in here for the Lone Peak Knights to try and protect against the punt block here. Fabrizio and Madsen standing back on their 30. A high snap. Well controlled, and the kick is blocked! And it's recovered for a touchdown! Ozzie Williams, who's playing as the gunner on that right side, comes up with a block and the scoop and the score.
Yeah, when you have those snaps that take forever to get back to that punter, the timing gets all off, and good job by Ozzie Peterson getting back there, gets the block and gets to cash it in for the touchdown. That's huge for Lehigh because now it's a 21-point lead.
Gavin Fenn once again to attempt the extra point. Remember, he had his last field goal attempt blocked, but this one is right through the uprights. And so at 99 seconds left, Lehigh has built a 24-3 lead. We'll be back after this. Lone Peak football is presented by G2G Bar, and it's also presented by Heidemann and Associates. We're also presented tonight by Black Desert, remarkable within reach, and also by LGCY Legacy Power, smart energy solutions for a better future. Alexander Tim up alongside the Rewind Sports Network, or rather the KSL Sports Zone's Jake Hatch. Gavin Fenn set to kick off, as Lehigh will have a 24-3 lead after this kickoff that is promptly shot through the back of the end zone.
Well, we've had a very eventful about 40 seconds here, I'm not going to lie, Alex. We thought they were going to cash in one turnover. They don't do it, speaking of Lehigh. Well, guess what? You know what, the very next drive, you know what we're going to do? We're not even going to worry about it. We're just going to block the kick and dive on it in the end zone for 6.
Yeah, they are scoring in all sorts of ways here in this first half.
Here's the thing. 3 turnovers for Lone Peak have been cashed in for 14 points.
Here is a handoff to Brooks Wild, left side, and he's not going to get much. Well, what does offensive coordinator Gary Trowbridge, what does Coach Bart Brockbank do here? I mean, you're down 24-3. You're going to get the ball to start the second half, but you had just been getting dominated in all sorts of first ways.
Yeah, here's the thing though. If I'm Lone Peak, you've had opportunities in the passing game to attack. Why are you handing off on first down there? I'd be trying to attack and see if you can get anything before either. Even 3 points would be big.
That's kind of true. I mean, you look at it right now, the situation.
And by the way, it was Lehi who took time out here. They're like, hey, you know what? If you want to play possum, we'll take that ball back and go for it again.
Well, stranger things have happened with Lone Peak football this year, Hatch. I mean, you and JT called the comeback they had against AF back a couple of weeks ago. I mean, it's not out of the question right now, but if anything, Lone Peak's hopes of coming back in this game ride on this drive right here.
Yeah, they got to do something. It was interesting to see them hand off and essentially concede the half there. But we'll see what they decide to do here on second down.
Lehi still only has one timeout after this.
And we got a timeout.
And now we got another Lehi timeout. It doesn't look like they had the right personnel on the field. Looked like they actually had 10 guys on the field. And now it's Lone Peak taking a timeout. So the official pointed the wrong way.
Here's the thing. Ed Larson was like, what do you mean? I didn't call timeout. That was funny because he looked at the side judge and was like, I don't think I said that, but okay.
Oh, man. The Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com and our coverage of Lone Peak football is presented by G2G, helping busy people eat well when they're on the go. G2G, fresh, healthy, and delicious. When you eat one, you'll know.
If you haven't had a G2G bar, I highly encourage you guys to give them a shot. They are incredible.
Yep, that's the thing with me. Always before my workout, always have to have one. Give me something to burn off.
Absolutely.
Second down and 9 now from the 21. Again, double wide receiver to the left. Blake to throw this time. He throws for Robinson, and it's broken up. Had it in his hands, but it was Ozzie Williams who got the block punt recovery earlier, able to put his hand in the cookie jar and make the play.
Yeah.
And we have a late flag down on the far side of the field.
A sideline warning going against Lone Peak here. Their coaches wanted a pass interference call, I think, on that one. Williams may have gotten there just a hair early, but honestly, I thought it was a great defensive play.
Yeah, I thought it was bang bang right at the point there, Hatch. I thought it was clean though.
Yeah,
this makes it third down and it stops the clock.
Yeah, that's the thing about it. I like the decision to go and see if you can get Trey Robinson one-on-one down the field. I like that, but as you mentioned, it stops the clock here. And obviously, if you don't get a first down here, suddenly Lehi can call timeout and stop the clock once again and get the ball back.
Play clock down to 5 for Jackson Blake. And they get it away. Blitz coming off the edge. He throws wide open. And a first down for Seth Haskett. And he's out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Mark him officially at the 35. That was a huge first down there. And the first third down of the night converted by Lone Peak.
Yeah, gets the Knights going here a little bit, see what they're able to do with it. Jackson Blake was asking for a roughing the passer call at the end of that. I didn't see anything too egregious, I thought. But
I want to correct myself here, Hatch. Actually, Lehi gets the ball to start the second half because Lone Peak won the toss, or Lehi won the toss.
You're all right, yep.
But they deferred. So Lone Peak will be having their feet to the fire here to start the second half. Blake, plenty of time, gets away, rolls to his right, time running out, now throws, just throws it in the direction of Logan Hoffines.
Yep, short arm that one on the run there. It's a harder throw than many might expect when you're trying to sprint full speed and fire a ball downfield. And as a result, dumps it in the dirt.
1:08 to go. Lone Peak has, I believe they still have 2 timeouts left. Lehi only has 1. As defensive coordinator Jared Harward from the sideline trying to signal out the play to his defense. Blake throws quick. That's complete. Ozzie Williams gets there quickly, and then Latu finishes off Trey Robinson, and then we have a timeout immediately signaled for and granted.
Oh, Lehigh calling their final timeout there.
Very interesting. But it makes sense. They have their third. They have a third down coming up here.
Trying to save any time they can, obviously, get a chance maybe just before halftime.
So, Hatch, we've watched about a very interesting last 2 minutes take place here with Lehigh being up 10-3. It looked like Lone Peak with that big play to Hoffines was going to take momentum back. But it really does seem like Alema Tambana's pick really has swung the pendulum back in favor of the Pioneers.
Yeah, it seemed like they take a lot of, as you mentioned, the wind out of the sails of the Knights there. And that's the biggest thing is, can they regain some momentum here? And obviously they're trying to do that right before halftime here. The other thing you got to be concerned about if you're Lone Peak, as you mentioned, is Lehigh's going to get the ball right out of halftime there. They go down and punch it in. That's 4-score deficit. That may end this game, honestly.
If Lone Peak was able to punch it in the end zone here, that would be huge towards the end of the half. Blake, 5 wide receivers, drops the pass. Looking, throws, and it's batted down.
Great job.
Looked like Tamala got his hand on it, that one.
Hey, if you can't get to the quarterback, get those hands up and try and bat that ball down. It's exactly what they did, forcing the punt here.
So Cade Daly, who had his last punt blocked, Lehigh's going to have 56 seconds and no timeouts to work with. Gavin Fenn's range, we would say, probably is on about or near the 33-yard line. Daly, line drive punt. This is a pretty good roll it's going to take. And good coverage there by the Lone Peak Knights as Fabricio is going to get clobbered at the 25-yard line. So a 40-yard punt and a 5-yard return. So this makes it a little bit more interesting here, Hatch. 44 seconds to go and no timeouts for Lehigh to try to get in Gavin Fenn's field goal range.
Yeah, well, the BYU Cougars did in 36 seconds last Friday against Cincinnati. We'll see what they can do here, speaking of the Pioneers.
Yeah, this after, of course, BYU had only 2 passing yards and 38 total before that drive.
They were 1 of 7 passing up to that point, you're right.
I don't know how it's physically possible to have 2 yards passing, but I digress. Niu,
nope.
Gonna try to change that, throws down the field. Matson tried to hold it in with one hand, but it was a little bit out of his reach.
Yeah, Jet New's been firing a little high, it seems like, so far in this game. Gotta get that down a little bit. Madsen has stretched every inch of his frame there to try and even corral that pass to begin with.
Mace Madsen, 5'7". He's as tall as me, but he got them bunnies. He can get up there. But not that one, unfortunately.
He used every ounce of energy he could to try and get that one. Able to tip it to himself would have been an incredible play.
And he's lucky he got a hand on it, too, because Mayberry was sitting right behind him to pick it off. And it looks like they're just going to run it here with Eka. Eka steps out of one tackle, and he finally gets brought down at the 30. And the clock will continue to run. And Ed Larson communicating out to his players. Remember, Lehigh has no timeouts.
Taking too much time here.
With a 21-point lead, they're taking a lot of time here. You got to get rid of it quickly. Finds Devon Eka. Eka's going to get the first down as he's knocked out of bounds with 6 seconds left. And I don't know what you got in the playbook here, Hatch.
I think honestly you're just going to hand this one off and go to halftime.
Unless Devon Eka runs all the way to the end zone, which is a distinct possibility.
If you break some tackles, that could be a different story, but.
So 1st and 10 from about the 38-yard line. 9 seconds on the play clock. And what will likely be the last play of the first half. And it's a pass. Niu hit as he throws. It's a hook and ladder play to Madsen. He better get some blocks. And Navahine is going to escort him out of bounds at the 36-yard line. That's it. for the first half.
I admire the creativity on that play, but if you're going to do that, either you're trying to get enough yardage to land for a field goal, you got to be a quicker hitter, or you got to have more options for him to be able to pitch that ball.
So we reached the end of the first 24 minutes here, Hatch, and we thought this was going to be a matter of little things coming into this game, execution and whatnot, and it's playing out that way so far, except Lehi is doing a much better job of it than Lone Peak is, because Lone Peak currently has 2 turnovers.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is you got to take care of the football. Obviously, you got to avoid penalties. And to their credit, speaking of Lehi, they have forced the action. They've really controlled the tempo, as you mentioned, and they are doing the simple things better.
Well, we reached halftime. 24-3 is our score. When we come back, Hatch and I will have thoughts from the first half and kickoff to start half number 2. Your score at the half is Lehi 24, Lone Peak 3. This is Lone Peak Football presented by G2G Bar on the Rewind Sports Network. We're about 3 minutes away from starting the second half. It's a good time to remind you that KSLSports.com's coverage of Lone Peak football is presented by G2G Bar. G2G Bar, if I can pull on my reeds here for a second, makes fresh, healthy, and delicious grab-and-eat food for everyone with all natural ingredients, no preservatives and protein. They're perfect for anyone who needs a quick, tasty, and nutritious boost. The experts who develop and perfect these are passionate about nutrition, but they also understand the world's healthiest bars are worthless and they taste like cardboard. Ain't that something? That's why G2G bars are in the refrigerator section, made with familiar ingredients crafted into delicious combinations that make it fun and easy to eat healthy no matter where your busy life takes you. G2G Bar, helping busy people eat well when they're on the go. On the go sponsor of KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of Lone Peak football as they're trying to auction off a light.
Sorry, Alex, I didn't mean to
Pioneer
laugh. I'm just watching
golf
this
bag down here.
I'm watching this auction go down. It's pretty funny.
This is hilarious watching this right now.
Hey, $800 bucks. I like that. That was a good auction right there. I'll give him credit.
So apparently there was a giveaway that was going on for $800. If I had to pay $800 for a golf bag, I would shell out my paycheck for that.
Well, you and me both, but I'm just saying, it's always good to see people stepping up for charity, obviously. So.
Yes. Well, other than that, that's not the only thing, of course, that Lehi fans have had to cheer about here in the first half, Hatch. The Lehi defense, we talked about it coming into the game, how this was going to come down to execution of the little things. And so far, Lehi has answered the bell, literally and figuratively, with 2 takeaways, including that block punt near the end of the first half that really swung the momentum of the game.
Well, three takeaways. The fumble on the first series, the interception, and then that block punt also counts as a turnover. So 3 of them, 3 takeaways in all totality. And the funny thing about it is, had they not missed out cashing in on that second interception, they got 14 of their points off of those turnovers. So here's the thing. This margin could be even wider than it already is, but we talked about in the pregame. If you're Lehi, you need to avoid making mistakes. Play clean football. And they've done exactly that.
But Lone Peak, of course, had a bit of a spark going late in that first quarter into the second quarter with the insertion of Jackson Blake back into the lineup for the first time in quite a few weeks. But it's quite clear he needs a lot of help right now behind him to at least make the score respectable.
Yeah, that's the thing about this. You're gonna have to come out here if you're Lone Peak. You need to get a turnover on downs or a turnover at just period. Get the ball back and get some offense generated. Otherwise, you're gonna see this game spiral out of control real quick.
You know, Hatch, this has to be asked. Does it feel like Lone Peak is playing up to their potential this season? Because it has to be asked. Because I know they're 3-5.
I was going to say they're 3-5.
I know they're playing up. I know they're 3-5. They played a lot of good teams this season, though. Hatch. You have to feel though, this Lone Peak team down 24-3 at halftime, again down double digits for the third week in a row. You've got to wonder, where is the spark going to come from down the stretch? Because they just keep falling further and further down that RPI.
Well, that's the problem is by their own standard that they've established over many, many years. Trust me, I played high school football in state, and I played against Lone Peak. They have a very strong standard. They have fallen well short of that standard so far this season, but you'd like to think that they have that firepower to get themselves back in the game. The problem is they seemingly can't get out of their own way. That's the biggest issue for them.
Right. The 2 turnovers really hurt. And Jackson Blake, I mean, that offense was rolling before Alema Tamala came up with that big interception that really swung the tide of the game. So Lone Peak staring down a 21-point deficit on defense. Alexander Timolip and Jay Catch here inside the press box at This Is the Place Pioneers Stadium in Lehi. Fabrizio and Madsen to receive the Adam Connors kickoff. It's a much cleaner kick this time, and it will cross the goal line for a touchback.
All right, this is a big series. I know we still got a whole half of football to play here, Alex, but in all honesty, if you're Lehi, you're thinking we can put one nail in the coffin with a touchdown on this series potentially, go up 4 scores. In many ways, the game at that point is, for all intents and purposes, over.
Yeah, remember, Lone Peak was down 10 points against American Fork.
They rallied back.
They were down 10-0 at halftime and then scored 17 of the last 21, or last 24 rather. Quick pass on first down. That's complete. What a catch! Kayla Moore over the middle. And that's a first down up close to the 35-yard line.
Great hands there by Moore to haul that pass in. Great job by him. And Jaden Mayberry coming up making that tackle in the end, but that was a great pitch and catch.
I mean, Jet Niu, the quarterback, fit that pass into a window the size of a donut hole. That was quite a throw there by the senior.
Yeah, Niu's not moving all that well. He's had an injured knee. It's been kind of bothering him. You can see that brace on his left knee over there. It's been bothering him a little bit in this game, but that was a great pass there.
Kolose Latu, and we have a flag. It looks like Junior Tahi was over the ball at the time the ball was snapped. And so they killed the play.
You got to time those if you're going to do that, and he did not time that one well.
Kelly Woodbury, our white hat here tonight in Lehi. That was the 4th or 5th penalty called against Lone Peak in this game. Lehi had 5 called against them in the first half, including one where they saw Penisimani Taki ejected for unsportsmanlike conduct on the 4th play of the game. Hasn't hurt them so far. It's just been business as usual for the Pioneers. Play action, throws the screen. That's complete to Wood. To Greenwood. Greenwood is brought down close to the marker.
Great job by Jensen Somerville out there on that block. I didn't think he was going to get there, and he got a fantastic block to spring him for the first down there. And obviously, that's what you want to see for a guy who's going D1 to the Power 5 level at UCLA.
That's right. One of 2 D1 commits on this team, of course. Grayson Brusso going to Utah State. But Jensen Somerville, the big one, 66 left side, or right side rather, your screen, now lined up at the bottom, or close to the bottom of the screen. He's going to UCLA. 5 men on the rush against Niu. He has time, but this pass is picked off. Intercepted by Arrington. He's down the sideline and out of bounds. And a flag down as well against the aforementioned Somerville. But if you talk about a play that Ryan Denny's defense desperately needed, Hatch, there it is.
Yeah, Jackson Arrington, great job by him. And Jensen Somerville is going to get penalized for this. But honestly, I'm not sure I heard a whistle. And now we have some of the home faithful here saying you got to blow the whistle if you want a guy to hit the guy out of bounds. Well, unfortunately, it's them's the breaks, unfortunately. And that's going to be half the distance to the goal here, setting up Lone Peak in great position here to get points.
Well, what do we talk about? Never count this Lone Peak team out. And now offensive coordinator Gary Trowbridge and head coach Bart Brockbank really getting the gears moving here as they're going to spot the ball as best as they can.
Yeah,
it's a rough estimate of half the distance to the goal from where the foul first occurred.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I feel for Jensen Somerville on that play. He's just trying to make a tackle.
That's a tough call.
He sees Jackson Arrington tiptoeing the sideline. What's the guy supposed to do? He's supposed to go blow the guy up and get him out of bounds there. And fortunately, it's going to cost him half the distance to the goal. But if I'm his coach, I'm telling him, hey, you did a good job all the same.
1st and 10 from the 12. Jackson Blake to throw to the end zone and not getting his head around for the pass.
Jayshawn Mayberry.
Jayshawn Mayberry. First time we called his name tonight in this ballgame.
Yeah, he's been conspicuously quiet. You're not kidding there. That was a timing route, obviously, because Mayberry's got to be able to get his head around, as you mentioned, on that, and just didn't do it. That ball was out, I think, on the timing that they expected it to be, as Jayshawn Mayberry, who wasn't on the point.
On the 12-yard line, 2nd and 10. If you're just joining us, Jackson Arrington, the pick, setting up Lone Peak inside the red zone for the very first time tonight. Jackson Blake, 2nd and 10. He gets time to the end zone, and it is complete. Touchdown. And the Lone Peak Knights get the turnover, and they suddenly have a pulse here as Seth Haskett, the 6'3 senior, gets into the end zone for the first touchdown of the night for Lone Peak.
You got to give credit to Haskett there. A great route run, obviously, but a great job by Jackson Blake firing that ball in there. And as you mentioned, it gives them a little bit of life here.
Adam Connors for the extra point. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is good. 24-10. What a start to the second half for Ryan Denny's defense as Gary Trowbridge's offense cashes it in. And it's now a 2-score game here in Lehigh. Well, don't blink because you'll miss it. Jackson Arrington the pick, and Lone Peak cashes in with 6 to Seth Haskett. And this is now a 2-score game. We're just barely underway here. Alexander Timolet alongside Jake Hatch. Here, this is the Lehi Pioneers Stadium as Adam Connors' kickoff will go right to the goal line. And it will be caught. Great catch by Fabrizio. And he is going to get smothered. Stays on his feet. Outside the numbers, ball comes out after he was down at the 31-yard line. Adam Connors, the kicker, saved what could have been a bigger gain.
Okay, I'm not going to lie. Fabrizio, he has got stones on him to bring that ball down and return that like he did. But a great individual effort by him, as you mentioned. Great tackle by the kicker there, obviously, to end that play. But, hey, great field position all the same.
Well, a huge drive now for Lehigh to get some momentum back. They gave away a good chunk of it.
You got to give credit to Jackson Arrington on that last drive. He had a great read on that interception he got.
New 1st and 10 from the 31. It's a delay handoff to Latu. And Latu's got great speed. Penalty flag goes down. And Latu is brought down to the 29-yard line. But, Hatch, you and I saw it from up here. Somebody got a handful of jersey on Jaden Mayberry.
It went about WWE style. He grabbed him around the shoulder and spun it.
I mean, it was right in front of the line judge, too.
Yeah, that was an easy call. He spun him like a top. It's like, all right, okay, you're going to have the positive yards. We're going to back you up here, yeah.
Tyson Greenwood is the one that is guilty for the holding.
Yeah, Greenwood's going to plead his case there, but you got to let that guy go. You've got to disengage. You cannot hold on like that.
And that wipes out a very good gain there for Colosse Lato. It'll be first and short, but it could have been 1st and 10 from the 29 of Lone Peak.
Yeah.
Another big penalty in this game. There have been a lot of them.
No doubt.
That wiped out a 50-yard gain by Colosse Lato on a very well-designed play there by head coach Ed Larson, who is the de facto offensive coordinator. Double back set, sweep to the near side. This is Davon Eka. He gets the edge, but he gets brought down after a gain of maybe 2.
Good job by there by Eka finding any positive yardage he could because that was getting strung out pretty nicely there. But he finally decided I need to plant my foot in the ground and get upfield and got 4 yards as a result. That's a great play by him.
Lone Peak scored on their opening drive of the third quarter thanks to an interception by Jackson Arrington that gave them a short field, and 2 plays later, Seth Haskett into the end zone, and that's where we are right now. Lehigh leading by 2 scores. 2nd down and 3 now from the 38-yard line. Here's a handoff again to Latu, and he's going to get stoned in the backfield. It is Anderson again.
Yeah, Easton Anderson just came free off that edge, and a great job of him working down the line there. Great tackle for loss by him. He is an absolute force when given opportunities to make plays.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a linebacker like him so much faster than everybody on the field.
And here's the thing, though. He pops up in different spots. They use him so well in this defense. He comes from all over the place. I love how they utilize him.
You can see why Hatch, I compared him to Leonard Peters.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no,
former UH
agree.
safety of old.
Yep.
For Jerry Glanville's defense. Play clock down to 3, and we are going to have a timeout called by Lehi as the Pioneers are all over the place to start this third quarter. And Hatch, it seems like that turnover and that drive really rattled this Lehi offense here to start the third quarter. They just don't look the same right now.
Yeah, it's injected life into as you mentioned, Lone Peak here, and they're feeling a lot better about themselves. This is a big third down, as you mentioned, because this was a big series, obviously, for Lehi to kind of reassert their dominance of this game. But to your point, they feel a little bit rattled right now.
Well, it certainly has been a different start to the second half, and Lone Peak's defense, we talked about defensive coordinator Ryan Denny, been aggressive when he needed to be at times, but now this is the point where we really are seeing his full arsenal here in this second, here first part of this third quarter.
And don't be surprised if he brings the house on a play like this, trying to get that ball back for his offense.
Lone Peak student section making noise across the way.
And we got a miscommunication with Lehi on offense here. They don't have the players that they need.
Yeah, they only had 10 guys on the field, 5 wide on third down. Blitz coming. Niu throws. Caught! Big play. Got a first down. Isaiah Mama comes up with a catch for the first down.
And that's the coverage bust there, it looked like, for Lone Peak on the back end of their defense. Mama should never be that open, and he found himself all alone.
Oh, boy, now Easton Anderson, who's had such a great night, is down. And he's holding onto that left knee, and this doesn't look good.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We'll take a break and we'll be back in a minute.
Oh, of all the players that... and Jake Hatch as Easton Anderson gets helped off the field. Jake, of all the players Lone Peak can lose right now, that is not the one
and
they want to see going off.
Yeah, he's barely putting any weight on that knee, and that's unfortunate because you mentioned he's kind of been the heart and soul of this defense in many respects. And they got a lot of good players on this defense, but he pops up in so many spots. That's a big loss.
First and 10 from the 49. Niu to his right, trying to set up the screen. Latu, plenty of room out to his left. And he's able to step out of bounds. He stepped out of bounds about a couple yards shy of the first down marker.
Yeah, and Jet New came up, and he's limping a little bit there after Tegan Towle took him down on that screen play there. And he's talking to the White Hat saying, hey, watch out a little bit closer. I thought it was actually all fair game across the board.
It has been a physical game.
And
here in this one.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. And New's been kind of nursing that knee injury. You can see that brace on his knee there.
Second down and 3 now. Ball at the LP 42-yard line. Almost halfway through this third quarter. Niu. Blitz coming. He throws and got it away. Caught for a first down. Isaiah Mama came up with it as Niu got planted.
Yeah, Jackson Arrington came off the edge and absolutely just crumpled Niu, but a great pass by him getting in there to Mama there. Obviously making the first down yardage, making the line to gain.
Kate Hansen, by the way, number 42, has come in to replace Easton Anderson. He's joined by Pono Aquin, another senior, number 43. As this Lone Peak team just continues to get nailed by injuries. Here is Latu off the left side. He's got some room. Puts his head down. He's knocked out of bounds after a pickup of about maybe 4. Arrington and Al over there to make the stop.
Yeah, Arrington making the tackle there as he kind of turned away and was getting
tackle
held.
In a manner of speaking.
And still makes the tackles. He forces him out of bounds. That's a great play. You get held and you also make the tackle still.
Tackle in a manner of speaking, as exactly. Al Michaels would say.
Sure, yeah.
There's another long drive here for Lehi. 6:40 to go here in the third quarter. They lead by 2 scores. Trying to get some momentum back after getting sucker punched to start the second half. Niu from the gun. Play action. Again, free rusher. Finds Isaiah Mama. Tries to get away. And before the cavalry can get over there, Mama not able to get away. Arrington et al. Able to make the play.
Yeah, Jackson Arrington doing a really, really good job out there. Just holding on to make sure that Mama wasn't going anywhere before his teammates could come and clean up the mess.
CJ Rubel was also one of the many others who got in there. And now it's 3rd down and 7. A big 3rd down here for this Lehi offense. They've been good on 3rd downs, though. 3 of 5 here in this game. But they need to convert this one right now. They're probably looking at 4-down territory. Play clock down to 9. Lone Peak showing blitz. And here they come. Niu, free rusher, throws up for grabs to the sideline. What a catch!
Wow.
That is Cooper who came down with the catch for the first down.
I gotta say, what a throw there by Jet Niu to find that receiver, and then Cooper come down with that ball. That was a great play there.
Justice Cooper able to bail out his quarterback. I thought for sure that thing was going out of bounds. It's another big 3rd down conversion for Lehi. 4 of 6 now on the night on 3rd downs. Lone Peak, by contrast, is 1 of 7. Latu the handoff, and he runs right into the arms of Empey. Gain of about maybe a couple.
He'll take that, though, because it keeps the defense honest, obviously, and obviously gives you a chance to set up more play-action opportunities there. Well, we talked about this being a drive to settle down Lehi and reassert their dominance. Well, it's exactly what it's done so far.
Drive has taken up well over 5 minutes now. Another long march by this Lehi offense. Remember, they run an air raid style offense, but it has more West Coast offense concepts, which, of course, hence the name I call it, the Lake Coast offense.
Yes.
Blitz coming. Niu looking, tries to get rid of it. Is the ball out? They're going to let the play out. Arrington has it. Is it a fumble? Is it a fumble?
I think that ball came out.
That ball, is it a pass? There is no signal from Kelly Woodbury's crew yet. Jackson Arrington, this will be his 2nd big play of the half if he comes up with it.
I think he was trying to get into the throwing motion.
I think he was trying to get in the throwing motion, Hatch, but I think that's a fumble.
They just said it's Lone Peak ball.
And it is Lone Peak football.
Wow, what a play there. As you mentioned, Jackson Arrington, 2 big plays in this 3rd quarter, giving his team a chance. That's absolutely massive.
And
Lone Peak's defense.
And credit to him, too, for playing through the whistle.
Yeah, staying with it, you're no doubt. You got to force him to make a decision there, and to his credit, you mentioned, he just kept going, obviously, and that's a great individual play.
Josh Empey is the one who knocked the football out. 1st and 10 for Lone Peak. They have momentum big time on their side now. Wild is going to get spun around, stays on his feet. And then the ball comes out, but he's able to get back on top of it.
Yeah.
And that is a big-time play there by Fua Mama, getting into the backfield and making the stop.
Yeah, that's one where Jackson Blake's like, I probably should have pulled that one, but hey, maybe it would have been a called handoff there. But that's a tough one because obviously you lose the 5 yards here and put you behind the sticks immediately.
Boy, this game has just taken a crazy turn.
Yeah.
Lone Peak was getting dominated in the first half. Now they are the ones potentially revving up the engines in the driver's seat. Blake to throw on 2nd down. Throws, that's complete. Robinson. And Robinson gets smothered right there. Boston Fabrizio, among others, makes the stop.
Yeah, by Fabrizio out there making that tackle. Now it's going to be 3rd and long here. Not exactly what you want and what you were envisioning after getting that turnover if you're Lone Peak here.
In case you're just joining us, Lehi was up 24-3 at the half. They had all the momentum going on their side. But Jackson Arrington came up with an interception, and it was cashed in with a touchdown to Seth Haskett a few plays later. And now Lehi has their feet to the fire here after Arrington came up with another big play. It's 3rd down and 12 here with the play clock running inside of 5. And they just get it away. Blake to his right, looking, gets away, looking, still looking, and he is going to be brought down. He picked up about a couple yards.
Yeah, he's going to pay the price for that one, obviously. And he only picked up really 1 yard on that, and that's...
And now what do you do here?
Man,
What do you got here on 4th and 11 from the 44-yard line? He got back to the line of scrimmage, Hatch, so what do? Do you go for it here?
Yeah, I think you have to go for it in this situation, but here's the thing. You expect him to pick up like maybe 5, 6, 7 yards, obviously make it a much more manageable situation. 4th and 10, man, I'm not sure how many plays you have, truthfully, you think are going to be successful here.
Gary Trowbridge's offense, what do they got here on 4th and 10? Blake, 5-man rush, it's picked up. The throw is caught! For a first down, Seth Haskett! My goodness!
Seth Haskett, what a catch. He bobbles it, it again, and then finally brings it in with just enough yardage for that first down there. Whew, talking about by the skin of your teeth there if you're Lone Peak.
I mean, you talk about barely getting there, Hatch. Seth Haskett.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one, if you drop that one, you're waking up in a cold sweat tonight at 2 in the morning.
What a play. A big conversion there, obviously, for the Knights.
Jackson Blake on 1st and 10. Fakes the handoff. Looking, throws. He's got a man open. And it is incomplete. It is incomplete. I thought it was intercepted.
Yeah, friendly fire.
And we got friendly fire as it looked like Fabricio and strong safety Kenneth Latu couldn't decide who wanted it was Max Ray who couldn't decide who wanted the football. And I think Fabricio got the worst of it.
Yeah, Fabrizio's still down over there. And
jeez,
friendly fire.
Right to the chest, too. Not a lot of padding in that area.
Having that ball in your hands and obviously having your own teammate take, it's never fun. We'll take a timeout.
We'll be back. Well, Ozzie Williams is the one who got hurt on that last play. More knocked the wind out of him than anything. Got friendly fired by Max Ray.
Yeah, it looks like he's doing okay now, walking off under his own power there. But, he took quite a shot there to the chest area.
Lone Peak has it 2nd and 10 now at the 33. Triple Y receiver lines up to the right. Blake to throw. Looking, throws, and nobody was there. I don't know if anybody was on the same page on that one.
Yeah, both of the receivers in the general vicinity were nowhere near that. That was a miscommunication, obviously, on the route.
Another big 3rd down for the Lone Peak Knights here. They are 1 of 8 on 3rd downs. And you'd have to think it's 4-down territory here with the fact we got 13 minutes of game time left to go. Crowd trying to turn up the knob here, and this is the place. Blake, plenty of time, throws, caught. Mayberry to try to set up a more manageable 4th down.
Yeah. He'll take that, obviously make it 4th and about 6 here, it looks like.
Lehi trying desperately to get off the field. 2 big plays by Jackson Arrington in this 3rd quarter have swung the tide of this game, and now Lone Peak really threatening here to make this a much more interesting game as we hit 1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter. But they got to convert this 4th down first things first.
You got to convert this here.
Blake, extra man on the rush. It's picked up. He throws. It is caught. Touchdown. Logan Hoffhines.
All right, we have seen
it all in this 3rd quarter. My goodness.
We've seen 2 turnovers. We've seen him cash in both of them for touchdowns. And by the way, talk about some receptions and some catches coming down here. Logan Hoffhines stole that ball away and then waltzes into the end zone. What a touchdown. And suddenly it's a 1-score game.
It was a 24-3 game. Jackson Arrington's 2 turnovers have swung the tide of this ball game. And Adam Connors has just made it a 7-point game.
I think we're gonna
as we have a penalty,
leaping
flag,
probably.
leaping foul, I think, against Lehi, or somebody must have hit the long snapper.
Yeah,
Kelly Woodbury's crew will sort this out.
PAT should be good. It should be assessed on the kickoff,
Right.
if I'm not mistaken.
So this would be 15 yards, and that means Lone Peak would be kicking from inside Lehi's 50.
Let's see what the call is here. Yep, there you go, 15
There you
yards.
go. But Jake Hatch, I turn to you now. This game has just taken a huge turn.
Yeah, this has been fun, though. Come on now. This is what it's all about. Because you mentioned we were at 24-3 at halftime and felt like, okay, here's the thing. They could probably close the door in a way, speaking of Lehi, if they go out and score a touchdown here. Jackson Arrington, as you pointed out, 2 huge turnovers when his team needed it most. And suddenly they have cashed both of those in for 14 points, and it's a 7-point ball game. What a turnaround here for Lone Peak.
Well, in case you're just joining us, folks, Lone Peak was down 24-3. I mean, everything was going wrong. 2 turnovers that led to 3 turnovers de facto that led to 14 Lehi points. But they have 2 turnovers of their own that have led to 14 points.
Okay, so here's
we have a brand new, and we are approaching the territory where we could say we got a brand new ball game here, and we still have 12 minutes left.
Yeah, we do. And here's the thing. My question is, you gonna go for an onside kick here? This is territory.
Thomas Sheffield did it for Hawaii against New Mexico State.
That's not a good point. Very good point there.
I saw it happen, and everybody was dropping back. They're lined up that way, but I don't think that would happen here. And Adam Connors is just going to go for the rouge, and he's going to miss it wide to the left.
Yeah, the thought is there, obviously, where that ball is placed. But I know that Lehi's going to be telling the guys, hey, just be on alert here. They're obviously going to maybe think about it. But he just realized, you know what, let's just kick it deep.
So, Jake, what does offensive coordinator play caller, head coach Ed Larson, what does he do here?
Well, he just tells his guys, do what you did in the first half. They played clean football in that first half. That's the thing about this. They have made some mistakes, and Jet knew, obviously, on that last turnover, they're getting hit in the backfield. His offensive line has got to protect him a little bit more here.
38 seconds left, third quarter. It is now a 1-score game. How? We'll never know. It'll start with a run to Eka, and he gets stonewalled in the backfield. Junior Tahi.
Yeah, great job by Tahi there, coming up from his middle linebacker spot to make a huge play off the edge. By the way, this Lone Peak defense looks completely different than they did just a minute ago.
And look, Easton Anderson back on the field.
How?
I literally have no idea.
Well, this third quarter has been full of all kinds of craziness. So, hey, let's do
exactly.
Our thing. Looks like he may have a little, is that a sleeve or a brace on that
Looks like
knee?
he has a sleeve on that left knee. His sock is covering it up.
Yeah, he's not moving as freely as he typically does, but hey, good to see him back out there.
The siren has sounded here at This Is the Place Pioneer Stadium. What was once a comfortable Lehi lead has just turned into a nail-biter. Buckle up, everyone. We'll be back. Welcome back, everyone, to This Is the Place Pioneer Stadium. Here in Lehi, Utah, Alexander Timolip and the KSL Sports Zone's Jake Hatch for Lone Peak Football, presented by Heinemann & Associates and G2G Bar. Heinemann & Associates, the flat rate law firm that is completely focused on you. Get a free consultation by calling 801-472-7742 or go to utah.law to find the law office nearest you. And brought to you by Igloo Outfitters, the coziest wearable sleeping bag that can allow you to never miss the moments you were meant to see. Well, like I always say at the start of the broadcast, strap in, buckle up, and settle in. Here we go. 12 more minutes of this here at This Is the Place Stadium. It starts with a pass to Eka. He makes a man miss, and he'll get run over about the 25-yard line, brought down by a host of tacklers.
And that's Jackson Arrington,
and now
I think.
Jackson Arrington is limping off the field.
Yeah, he missed that tackle there and then came up limping hard and had to go off the field. That's unfortunate.
Third down now and 4. At the 26-yard line. Lehi is 4 of 6 on third downs here tonight. Lone Peak, 1 of 8. Triple wide receiver lines up in a stack to the right. That's a pass, and the pass is caught. What a catch by Cooper. Justice Cooper with a first down.
Yeah, that's a what you call a first down play, because you throw that to the outside. No cornerback is going to be able to defend the entirety of your route tree there. It's a great job, and obviously, does that make him, 5 of 7 now on third down?
5 of 7 now on third down, Hatch. You are correct. And that has been the
big.
big story here tonight.
It's huge.
From the gun, Jet Niu on 1st and 10. Hands off on a sweep. Eka trying to get the edge. He does, and he gets away from a tackler. Then he gets smothered out of bounds. No flag down, but I think that was a pretty clean play. They're going to give him a first down at about the 42-yard line.
I'm not sure I've seen many running backs be able to leap themselves in the field with one hand. That's exactly what Eka did there, and a great job by him getting himself first down yardage.
Just starting the fourth quarter here of this one. Alexander and Tim up alongside the KSL Sports Zone's Jake Hatch. Lehi desperate to get some momentum back on their side. Play action, screen to the flat. Mays Madsen. Madsen gets out of bounds across midfield after a pickup of about maybe 7.
Great job by Grayson Brousseau there on the block on the outside there. And by the way, Jet Niu, I don't know if you saw that delivery. It was a sidearm delivery, getting it out there on point and on time. Great job by him at quarterback.
This is the first time. This is the second time Lehi has crossed midfield. Both their previous drives ended in turnovers. Will it be a different story here on this drive? Lone Peak showing blitz, and here they come. They bring it, and the throw is caught for a first down. That is complete to Caleb Moore, the F receiver, and that's a first down by about a yard.
Yeah, Landon Goff there just a second too late there on that. The chance to maybe break that up had he gotten there just a touch earlier. This is fun. I like football when it's like this.
Are you not entertained? I think we are thoroughly entertained in this one. Not more entertaining, I think, than Hawaii football, but what do I know? All they run is the run and shoot all day long.
Hey, that can be entertaining in its own right.
True. 1st and 10 from the 45. 4 men on the rush. Niu throws left side. That's batted up and incomplete. Thrown a little bit too hot for Justice Cooper, though he had his man beat C.J. Rubel.
Yeah, had that ball popped up any higher in the air, that might have been picked off.
And worse, that was probably going back the other way for 6. Because Jaden Mayberry wasn't going to stop running anytime soon. Lehi was up 24-3 at one point, and then 2 turnovers forced by Jackson Arrington. A fumble recovery and an interception has swung the momentum of this game in favor of Bart Brockbank's Knights. And now Lehi trying to desperately get some momentum back on their side.
Oh, we got a false start. Oh, Grayson Brousseau.
My goodness. Tried the hard count, flinched themselves out.
Brousseau, you got to stay set there, young man.
Goodness. What a time.
He's barking at his quarterback like, hey, you're supposed to go. But Niu's pointing like, hey, I'm trying to get them to jump. And he nearly did, by the way.
And Lone Peak almost jumped twice.
Yeah, they did, yeah. So,
we have a pretty good shot of it down the 45-yard line. Junior Taki got close, but he didn't cross over the ball. So now it's 2nd and 15. And now I think Ed Larson has had enough. And I can't really see from his facial expression because he has his back to us, but he's not a very happy camper. Lehi hitting the mud. They're up only by 1 score here in the 4th. Reminder, at the end of tonight's game, Jake and I will be selecting our choice for the Heidemann & Associates Player of the Game, presented by the full-service law firm that is solely focused on winning for you, the client. Well, if we had a choice, it would be definitely from the Lone Peak defense right now, as Ryan Denny, their DC, doing a pretty darn good impression of former Hawaii defensive coordinator Jerry Glanville.
Jerry Glanville, there's
the man in black,
I like that.
As it were. 2nd down and 15 for Lehi after the penalty and Ed Larson's subsequent timeout. You can tell he is not happy. And they bring it. They pick it up. Niu throwing, all kinds of contact, and it's incomplete. Here comes a flag.
Yeah, that was an easy call there. I was waiting for. I don't know why they took so long to throw the flag. There was definite contact there. It absolutely should have been a call.
Now it's either going to be a holding or a pass interference. If it's a holding, it does not result in an automatic first down like it does in the college or the NFL.
Well, that's the thing. Also, pass interference is only 15 yards, so it
would
mark off.
Be a first down. And it's a holding, so it will not be a first down.
It's a 2nd and 5
yes.
to be the result.
But still, that's a big penalty. Better than 3rd and 15. Better 3rd and 15. Better 2nd and 5 than 3rd and 15, Hatch.
It was a really late flag. You could probably hear through our mics. The crowd is getting pretty antsy on that one. I'm just surprised it took that long for those flags to come out.
June Jones would have been putting his hands up by about the time that his receiver got held up that sideline.
We also don't have Taylor Swift on a sideline that's maybe necessitating some calls.
That's true. That is very true as well.
It's my one and only reference to Taylor Swift in tonight's broadcast.
Hopefully. 2nd down and 5 now following the penalty from the 40 of Lone Peak. Niu drops straight back, 4-man rush, throws in the triple coverage. It's almost picked off.
Okay.
Oh boy, he has been flirting with danger. I mean, you've heard of the term, Jake Catch. June would throw.
Yeah.
Jet would throw, but I don't think June would have thrown into triple coverage.
Yeah, here's the thing. He's got a lot of faith in that arm, but when you have 3 white shirts, only 1 gray shirt out there, the math doesn't usually add up, and obviously it did not add up on that play. Now another big 3rd down here, obviously for the Lone Peak Knights.
10 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. We still have a lot of drama to go, folks. Don't think the fireworks are over here at This Is the Place Stadium as the Lone Peak student section trying to turn up the volume. They bring 5. Extra coming on the rush. Niu gets away, throws, broken up.
Enoch Nawahine with a huge pass breakup.
Matias Nawahine on Tyson Greenwood. It is 4th down, and now big decision here for Ed Larson.
Yeah, Nawahine, he is a lockdown corner. You don't hear his name called a lot because people just don't throw to his side. What an incredible play there by him to break that pass up because Jet New looked like he was bottled up there, gets out of it and fires that pass in there. And if Nawahine doesn't get his hand in there, that's an easy 1st down.
So Lehi, 4th and 5 from the 40 of Lone Peak. They're going to go for it. I mean, why not? I mean, 10 minutes to go. Sure. What do you got to lose here? All of a sudden, Hatch, this has turned into a pretty entertaining game.
They got to go quick here. We're under 10 already.
Play clock down to 5. They split triple wide receiver to the left. Brousseau lines up in the slot. Niu looking. Niu, pressure, throws, dropped. Devon Eka couldn't hold on, and the Lone Peak Knights take over on downs.
That's just as good as any turnover you could have gotten on that play there, Alex. That's huge. That wheel route, I love the play call, but I got to give credit to Lone Peak. They were ready for it. He was on it all the way down the sideline there, and an errant throw, and obviously a big turnover on downs, and an opportunity now for Lone Peak to go down the field and tie this ball game.
Something you probably couldn't have said about a quarter and a half ago.
No, absolutely not. That's the thing about this. We got 9:48 to go. This should be fun.
I mean, Jackson Blake is doing his best Colt Brennan impersonation at 07 against San Jose State. Blake, protection is good. Flushed out of the pocket. Now rolls to his right. Now throws and just throws it away at the feet of his intended receiver.
Yeah, that's been a kind of a bugaboo there for Jackson Blake. We've seen him scramble out to that right side multiple times in this game. When he tried to fire on the run there, every one of them have been shortened in the dirt there. That's something he's got to work on if he wants to be a better quarterback.
It was a pretty good pickup, though, on the blitz, you have to say, by Brooks Wild, the tailback, whose name we have not called a whole bunch here tonight. Things have gotten a little tighter now here in Lehi. 2nd down. Blake, pressure coming, and the pass is broken up. It is tipped to the line of scrimmage. Wild was wide open over the middle.
Yeah, he gets that pass off, and Wild might be still running wild, honestly, because that was a great release out of the backfield by him. A great job by the Lehi defensive line getting that pass deflection.
And now this is where you're going to hear a lot of noise here on this 3rd down. 3rd and 10 for the Lone Peak offense. Ball at their own 40-yard line as they're listening to the noise here at This Is the Place. Blake throws, caught, dropped, in fact! Hoffheinz could not hold on to that one.
I'm not sure I've seen Logan Hoffheinz drop a pass in all the games I've called for Lone Peak over the years. That was a huge, huge drop. That's an easy first down, and he just lost track of it.
So Lehi dodges yet another major bullet.
Absolutely.
Off the turnover on downs, but still a long way to go. 9:28 to go here in regulation. We are far from having the fireworks over here tonight. Daly to punt. And again, bad snap. And it's recovered by Lehi. A special teams disaster for Lone Peak.
Cooper comes up with it. Wow. You've got to have a snap that can get back there, at least somewhere in the vicinity of the punter. That didn't even get within 5 yards of him. That is a disaster, as you mentioned. Can't have that.
So a sudden change again.
Well, this may give the momentum right back to Lehi here, Alex, because this sets them up right in scoring territory. And if I know anything about what Ed Larson likes to do, I wouldn't be surprised if they go right for the jugular right now.
It is a sorely needed sudden change for Lehi. They had everything stacked against them here in this second half. Once again, Lehi not able to get lined up properly. Play clock down to 3, and they just got it away. Eka tries that right side, breaks a tackle down the sideline, and he's knocked out of bounds at about the 19-yard line.
Great first down pickup there, making it 2nd and 2 here. It's exactly what you want to see on first down.
I'll bring up 2nd and 2 for the Pioneers.
9:17, clock frozen here in the fourth quarter. Lehi clinging to a 7-point lead here on senior night.
Yeah, what an incredible turn of events on that punt there.
Play clock again running inside of 5.
Oh, they gotta go.
Play clock down to 1, and they just got it away. Niu in trouble, throws in a triple coverage, and it is incomplete. Ball hit the ground.
Oh, that was close.
That was very close, but we can't see from down the line.
Brousseau looked like he had it for almost a second there. We got people on the sideline getting warned, you got to stay back here.
So 3rd down and 2 here.
I got to give Brousseau credit. He very nearly came up with that on the tip.
3rd down and 2 now for Lehi. Ball at the Lone Peak 18-yard line.
Man, they're taking a long time to get these play calls in, Alex.
They sure are. Down to 5 seconds again. They actually had 12 men in the huddle.
Wow, that should have been a penalty.
They just got it away again. Latu. And he got it by about a yard.
There you go. Move the sticks. Exactly what you want here.
He needed 2, and he got 3.
Shout out to our offensive lineman, number 53, Austin Stopper. 55,
so Lehi now inside the 15-yard line, trying to get momentum back on their side. Up by 1 score. They were up by 3 scores at halftime, but then Lone Peak's defense turned the tide. Niu on 1st and 10, looking to throw. Good protection. Fires it out. Latu. And he's brought down hard inside the 10 at about the 9-yard line.
Easton Anderson with another big hit there. Great job by him. Honestly, with how Easton Anderson looked when he took that hit and he went down, obviously, earlier in this game with the injury, I'm surprised he's out there playing football, but credit to him.
We have not seen Jackson Arrington, though, back in the game. We have seen Jackson Arrington, by the way, come back into the game as well, so that's 2 big pieces of that Lone Peak defense that are out there right now.
Absolutely.
Again, play clock running under 10. 2nd and 4 from the 9. They can get a first down without scoring at the 5, of course. Hand off. Latu. And Latu, I think he's got it. We'll see where they mark him. The linesman is marking him at about the 5-yard line. He needed to get to about the 5. And they're going to mark him about...
That's like third and an inch.
That's third down and less than a chain link.
I'm surprised they even measure that if that's how close it's going to be, but okay.
Well, this is a play where you run the football, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. I actually kind of like this. They're grinding some clock here, and their ground game's been very effective right now.
Latu lines up as the single setback. Brusso, the tight end, in the H-back formation. Third down and less than a chain link. It's Latu, and he's in. Touchdown.
That's exactly what you wanted to see if you're Lehigh. Grind some clock, wear these guys down, and punch it in to reestablish a 2-score lead. That's a big, big touchdown drive there for the Pioneers.
So Kolose Latu gets into the end zone, and Lehigh finally restores some semblance of order. It was a long time coming. But again, off that sudden change, they're able to cash in. Gavin Fenn for the extra point. It's up, and it is good. 31-17. The Pioneers on top now. We'll be back after this word from Igloo Outfitters. Lehigh leads Lone Peak 31-17. Alexander Tim up alongside BKSL Sports Zone's Jake Hatch. Gavin Fenn is set to kick off as Lone Peak.
Just learned something, by the way, Alex.
Really?
This is an if.
If
Lehigh wins this game, it would be their first ever varsity football win over the Lone Peak Knights in their history.
Really?
Yeah, and obviously they've not been in a region together ever, as far as I'm aware, so it'd be a huge result for them, obviously.
And it would be their 7th win of the season, Hatch, which would, for all intents and purposes, for where a lot of people picked them at the start of the season, Lehigh, that's a big accomplishment.
Well, yeah, sure. They made the leap up, and a lot of people thought, okay, they're going up to the highest level of football in the state. How are they going to fare? Well, you put 7 wins on the board, 9 games into the season. That's pretty darn good.
Jackson Blake, though, has a lot left to say in his tank.
Sure, and here's the thing. I said that's why there's a big old if in front of that statement.
Blake on first down. Looking, throws it a little high and wide that time of the intended receiver, Trey Robinson.
And it's unfortunate Trey Robinson could have corralled that one, obviously. That's kind of been the big storyline here for this Lone Peak offense. They find themselves in these long downs and distances. They've not been able to pick up consistent 3- and 4-yard pickups. It's been an absolute killer for them.
Luke Christensen, who started the game at quarterback, now comes in as a receiver to the left. That's a new wrinkle. Blake on second down, looking, gets away from trouble, steps up, and he's going to go down. First sack of the night for that Lehigh defense. Isaac Sweat with the takedown.
Great job there by the Lehigh defensive line, climbing up in the pocket, and then realizing he's trying to escape out of it. Good job, you mentioned, by Sweat from his nose tackle position, getting that sack.
7 minutes and 15 seconds left to go here in the game. Blake, pressure, plenty of time, throws, and it's incomplete. Looking up that sideline for Brooks Wild.
Do we have another friendly fire? Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Isaiah Allen is the man down on that far sideline, but he looks like he got the wind knocked out of him again.
And there's another friendly fire. He's going for that interception, and his own teammate take him out. We'll take a timeout while they figure it out.
Isaiah Allen getting some help as he goes off the field. One more time tonight, we'd like to remind you KSL Sports coverage of Lone Peak football is presented by Heidemann and Associates and G2G Protein Bar. It's also presented by Crumble Cookies, bringing family and friends together over a box of the best cookies in the world. Ideal Kitchen and Bath. If you want to do it once, do it right. And also by Tech 9, Tech Happily with Tech 9, where Utah goes for custom software development. Alexander Timup alongside the KSL Sports Zone's Jay Catch at This Is the Place Pioneer Stadium. Much better snap for Cade Dowley this time, and he hits an end-over-end floater that Fabricio will take on the plus side of the 50. He'll get to the 40. 13 yards on the return for Boston Fabricio.
Great return there. Obviously another great starting field position here for the Lehi Pioneers. And for as crazy as that third quarter, about half of this quarter is gone so far, Alex. Well, here's Lehi back in control at 2 scores, and maybe could stretch it back out to 3 here in just a little bit.
And that just tells you just how good this Lehi team is. I mean, they
absorbed some punches. Yeah,
they looked rattled in the beginning of that third quarter, and it looked like everything was about to come unglued midway through that third quarter. But Lehi's defense showing you why they were the tops in 5A last year. Number 1, 9 points allowed. Niu on first down, hands to Eka. Big hole! Still on his feet. And finally taken down across the 30 to the 25-yard line.
Touchdown saving tackle there by Nawahine out there on the edge. But great run all the same by Eka. Great job by that offensive line opening that hole.
First and 10 for Lehi. Ball at the 25-yard line. Under 7 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. On the 25, Niu gets the snap. Blitz coming. Now scrambles to his right and throws it away. And now Niu is slow getting up.
Yeah, he got dragged down there by Josh Empey, and some home faithful unhappy he got dragged down, but fair play there. He's still holding on to that football. They're going to take him down. That's their job. I got to give Jet New a lot of credit. He has absorbed a lot of punishment tonight and just keeps doing his thing.
Sure has. And you can see from the brace on that left knee you're talking about, Hatch. Yeah. I mean, he's not playing at 100%.
No, and he's battling through it. I got to give him credit because it's not easy.
Second down and 10 from the Lone Peak 25. Eka gets the flake to him. Now throw. That is complete. Low throw. But the pass is caught by Greenwood, and that should be enough for a first down.
Yeah, great route there by Greenwood, and a great strike thrown there by Jet New.
Clock running under 6 to go here in this one. As Lehi trying to hold on and survive. It was hairy midway through the third quarter, late in the third quarter, when Lone Peak made it a one-score game, and now Lehi trying to send their seniors out with a win and seal it. Here's Latu, and he gets brought down after a pickup of a few.
That's exactly what you want to see from your offensive line right now. They are dominating up there in the trenches, and that's what you want in this scenario. You can grind clock and hopefully cap it off with another 7 points.
And the other thing is, too, Hatch, Lone Peak's defense has been on the field a lot tonight. They have been on the field for a good chunk of the game, and you wonder now if it's starting to get to them.
Well, there's a lot of hands on hips out there, and as you mentioned, they've spent a lot of this game playing football. I got to give them credit. They have battled. They have kept their team in this game. You mentioned those 2 turnovers that Jackson Arrington had in the third quarter. They got their team back in this game, but yeah, their defense has been playing a lot of snaps.
Second down and 7 now. Eka the handoff, and he's going to get smothered in the backfield.
Yeah, that one I think was a miscommunication on which offensive lineman was supposed to go where.
Everybody was going one way, and the running back was going the other way.
Yep. I think some linemen pulled that weren't supposed to pull, and other guys didn't. So, hey, sometimes it happens.
Junior Tahi made the stop.
No gain officially, I guess, is the result.
Yeah, now it's third down and 10, but works in favor of Lehi because you can drain some more clock. As the clock is running under 4:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. Alexander Timolip and Jay Catch here at This Is the Place Pioneer Stadium, where Lehi's trying to put the icing on the cake and finally put away the Lone Peak Knights. 5 men on the rush. Niu steps up, and he's going to be dropped at the line of scrimmage. See where they mark it. Officially goes down as a sack.
It will go down as a sack, yep.
It was Josh Empey along with Junior Tahi and Jackson Arrington, among others, and that will bring out Gavin Fenn for his 3rd field goal of the evening. Remember, he had one blocked earlier from 46. But this will be from 32, so this will be an NFL-length extra point.
Right in his wheelhouse, in theory.
You would think so. Good snap, good hold, and the kick is good. And with 3:26 to go, Lehi does indeed restore their 3-score lead. They lead 34-17. Back after this. (34-17) our score now here at This Is the Place Pioneer Stadium. Alexander Timop alongside the KSL Sports Zone's Jake Hatch. Gavin Fenn 2 of 3 out of field goals on the night, pushing Lehi's lead back up to 17 as he promptly swings his leg through and boots this to the back of the end zone.
Not sure why he paused on that. That was weird. Like his own gunners
Yeah,
were like, oh, what are you doing, bud?
I'd like to remind you at the conclusion of this game, Lehi and Lone Peak, we will remind you that Heidemann and Associates is the sponsor of the player of the game, who Jake and I will choose at the end of tonight's game. So Jackson Blake just doing damage control here with 3:26 to go in a 17-point game. Blake on first down, pressure coming, throws into double coverage. And it's incomplete, in through the hands of Logan Hoffhines. Max Ray and Isaiah Allen back there defending.
Yeah, good to see Ray and Allen combining out there, not giving Hoffhines a chance to bring that in.
Lone Peak's going to go to 3-6 with this result tonight, and something drastically doesn't change here in the next 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Stunning, honestly, consider that.
Yeah, 1-3 has not been the kind of year I think a lot of people expected.
Nope.
Especially after they pasted Bingham to the wall on opening night, as that pass is caught by Christensen. He's close to the first down. He'll have it at the 32-yard line. Clock will stop momentarily while they set the chains.
Yep, gotta go quickly here.
Latu made the stop. Blake to throw. Throws a wobbler, but that's caught. Hoffhines breaks a tackle, and he takes a lick from, it looked like it was Latu, Kenneth Latu, that came up from his free safety spot and put his shoulder into Hoffhines. As quickly again, they march back to the line. Blake, second down throw, that's complete. Christensen again. He gets the full takedown at about the 45-yard line as the clock now runs under 3 minutes. So all of a sudden, this Lehi defense looking a bit all over the place as the pass is caught. And the clock will continue to run as that pass is complete to Christensen again.
If you're Lone Peak, you just got to keep doing your thing here. You got to keep grinding.
Again, he went backwards, so that is going to be... So that means the clock is still going to run. Blake going to throw the prayer into double coverage. What a catch! Trey Robinson comes down with it.
Wow, Trey Robinson.
And suddenly now Lone Peak inside the red zone.
Well, this is talk about running your offense to peak efficiency all of a sudden.
So now Lone Peak is 4 downs to get into the end zone, and they still have 2 minutes left. 5 wide receivers, throw, that's complete. Blake, as we have another flag down near where Blake is. Meanwhile, we have Jared Smith, the right tackle, down.
Yeah, are we going to have a roughing the passer here?
I believe that's the only thing I can think of. I didn't see a flag
I
from
didn't
the
see
umpire, so
yeah,
it must be that.
Well, yeah, I didn't see any holding. Yeah, there we go. It is, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
So what, we got half the distance goal from the one?
Yeah.
That's my favorite part. We have officials. They'll walk up.
I know, literally walk up a half an inch.
Well, I see, and I've watched them spot it. I'm like, sure that's
bite
halfway?
off half of a wagon wheel donut, and that's how far it is.
That's about it. Yeah, you're not kidding. Now, here we go.
Jackson Blake now, 1st and goal at the half-yard line. He takes it, sneaks it, and scores. Touchdown, Knights.
All right, well, they have a pulse in this game with that touchdown.
So Lone Peak gets in the end zone, and you're right, Hatch, they do have a pulse. It's a 34-23 game. With 1:51 to go, it's a bit of a long shot, but...
What's the confusion here? Kick the PAT. What are you doing?
And now, yeah, it looks like they're getting the right unit in to kick the PAT. Here comes Adam Connors.
There's no reason to go for two. Like, what are you doing?
Looks like they are going to go for two. At least it looks like it. And that is exactly what they are going to do. In fact, we now have a flag.
Did they break the
we may have
huddle?
we may have a legal substitution here on Lehi.
Too many men.
Looks like it. At least the legal substitution. Too many men or not enough men in the formation. And in fact, I think it's an equipment violation against Lehi.
Wow. Kenneth Latu
gets called for the penalty, and Ed Larson is giving him a death stare down here. He is not happy, and he has every right not to be.
Well, he already had Penissimani Taki thrown out of this game for an unsportsmanlike to kick off this game, and then that one late.
Yeah, remember, Taki was thrown out on the 4th play of the ball game, so Lone Peak going to play it smart here and go for the extra point. Let's give them at least one last chance in this game. Good snap. It's right through, and we're gonna have a false
another
start encroachment, I think, on Lehi.
That, or I think it was a false start. Yeah, I was going to say.
That it was induced.
Yeah, I was going to say number 72. He got an early start there, Jared Smith.
So now it's going to be from the 2-yard line, back it up to the 8-yard line.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how minor the flinch there. If you do it, you're going to get tagged for it.
1:51 left in regulation here. Lone Peak trying to at least give themselves hope. Good snap, good hold again. Connor's extra point is good. And so with that, with 1:51 to go, it's now a 10-point game, 34-24. So Hatch, I hasten to say it, that Lone Peak, I mean, for everything that's gone wrong here, for being down 24-3 at halftime, for them to make this at least respectable, shows you a lot about who they are as a team and just how good they really are.
They've battled. I'll give them credit. They have hung in this game when easily could have said, you know what, we're not about this. But they're going to kick off here from what?
The 40. So
40. So
be interesting to see here what.
They have all 3 timeouts, I thought, right?
They actually have. I think they have 3 timeouts. I think I might be wrong. They might have 2. I'm not sure.
Well, you're going to go for the onside kick here regardless. But then if you have the 3 timeouts, you can still get the ball back if you can get a stop.
It looks like they're going to try to go for the rugby scrum kick because they got everybody lined up
Lehi,
in a huddle.
Lehi
is expecting it.
Yep.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do here is you don't want to be caught out on guard and have it roll all the way through your coverage because as soon as the ball is kicked, it's anybody's. So last chance for Lone Peak here. Down 2 scores, 1:51 to go. Just waiting for the...
Well, we had a discussion there.
Just waiting, I think, for the Red Hats to give us the signal.
Yep.
Here we go. See what Lone Peak does. And it is a scrum kick. And it's going to bounce all the way through. And it's recovered by Mays Madsen. And Madsen gets a couple of blocks before he safely tiptoes his way out of bounds at about the 41, and there's a flag down on the opposite.
Down. I think there might be a holder blocking the back out there as well.
Yeah.
We got some chatter going on between these two teams as well.
Yeah, and
Ed Larson's got to get these guys under control. This is not good.
And Caleb Moore, one of the captains out there, basically said, just get back. It's not worth it.
Yeah, there we go.
But it doesn't matter regardless. Lone Peak, it looks like this one's all but wrapped up. So Lone Peak still has 2 timeouts, but with 1:44 to go, it looks like it's all academic at this point.
Sure seems that way.
Yeah, but stranger things have happened. Joe Pisarcik handing off, and Air Force fumbling on the 5-yard line against Hawaii back in 1988.
Your knowledge of the Rainbow Warriors is absolutely encyclopedic. I love it.
Or I'll go back a little bit before that, 1992, when Charlie Peterson fumbled and gave the Rainbow Warriors life against BYU back in 1992.
Yeah.
I just had to bring that up. Here's Latu on the right side. He gets brought down after pickup of 1, and Bart Brockbank immediately calls for a timeout.
All right. Well.
So second down now, 9 here, 1:38 to go.
Interesting to see how they manage all this.
You do know that if Hawaii was playing right now, Colt Brennan, June Jones of old, they'd be throwing the football still. They'd be throwing the football around the backyard still here with 1:38 to go.
Timmy Chang probably still would do it right now with
he probably
the head coach.
Yeah, Timmy Chang goes for it on 4th and 1 in his own territory. Go figure. Try to push the action. Sad that the Rainbow Warriors are off this week, coming off that loss to UNLV, but that big win against New Mexico State 2 weeks ago at home really changed the tone of their other season could pan out.
Yep.
Triple wide receiver in the formation, but you have to expect it's a run here. Lone Peak loading up the box. And Niu is going to run, and he's going to go out of bounds.
Why is he running out of bounds? That is, you got to.
That was a bit of a strange decision. Easton Anderson escorted him out of bounds, but you have to ask, but you need to dot.
Yeah, you need to fall down in bounds. That's what Ed Larson's probably telling him, dude, got to fall down in bounds.
So Lone Peak just got a free timeout out of that.
Yep.
And I think Ed Larson...
And that probably goes down as a sack, too.
Yeah, that's a sack. Ed Larson is not happy at his quarterback right now, and he's telling him exactly what you were saying, Hatch. Go down in bounds.
Yeah, that's a mistake that players will make from time to time, but you expect as your quarterback, you got to know down and distance and time, and you got to be like, okay, I got to get down. I got to fall down. Just fall down in bounds. Force them to run the clock.
I mean, Ed Larson... I know Ed Larson doesn't have a lot of hair left, but but since he does on the sides, he's probably ripping it out right now, looking at his quarterback, saying, "What are you thinking?"
Yeah, that's a tough one, obviously.
We want to welcome in a new audience, by the way, that's just joining us from the KSL Sports Rewind Friday Night Red Zone. Dusty Litster and Jeff Hansen will be taking you up to the top of the hour, but as long as they're on the air, we are sticking. They're sticking as much as they can with us, as it is approaching 10 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time here, as this Lehigh Lake Coast offense trying to limp to the finish, as they have been outgunned and outmanned here in this second half by a physical and inspired Lone Peak team. 3rd down and 13 now at the 25. My money's on the June Jones playbook and throw it, and they are going to throw it. Free rusher coming. Niu is sacked. Tegan Toll, and a timeout immediately called by Bart Brockbank. That is exactly what they needed.
Wow. Well, hey.
And now Brockbank is going berserk here on the far sideline.
He's convinced that some extra clock was allowed to run, even though he called the timeout almost immediately once Jet Niu hit the ground. Going to have a little conversation here to maybe see if they need to add some more time on here. But great job there by Tegan Towell with a great tackle, great sack. And that's going to give them, man, better field position than they could have hoped for, honestly.
So they are going to reset the clock.
So the 2 seconds to be put back on. We have 127.
So 127 is officially what they're going to put the clock to. So Lehi will have 127, or Lone Peak rather will have 127, and no timeouts to try and at least get in position for a field goal, and then we're going to probably need another onside kick.
Yeah, absolutely, they will, no doubt.
Unless, of course, Matias Nabahine brings us back to the Halle. Then we're really talking crazy things.
Hey.
First things first, though, they got the gunners in here, Lehi, to protect the punt block. Gavin Fenn's got to get it away quick. High snap with good protection. And he gets away a good one. Nabahine's going to have room at the 40. Midfield. 45. And he gets upended right there at the 41-yard line.
How was there not a block in the back there? That was about as clear as day. I saw enough block in the back there, but hey, sometimes they miss them.
So the Lone Peak Knights are at the 41-yard line, and this one's not pow just yet. Hang on here.
This game's been nuts.
This game has been insane. Lehi needs one more stop now. Can Coach Jared Harward, DC Jared Harward's defense come up with one last play? Blake on first down. Plenty of time. Throws. Incomplete. A lot of contact. There's a flag.
That's Christensen
got hogtied. And it was a good play by Ozzie Williams to hog tie him up, because if not, that's probably 6.
Yeah, Ozzie Williams just had to, and obviously that's a high hit, and people are going to be upset about that, but it's an easy call. But here's the thing, it's better than the alternative.
Well, would have been an interception. So now Lone Peak has it, 1st and 10 on the Lehi 26. This game has been insane. 5 wide. Jackson Blake.
Tackle him inbounds. What are you doing?
Don't understand that. Don't understand that as well, Hatch.
Tackle him inbounds. They just let him hey, here's the sideline, sir. Please take it. You got to tackle him inbounds, guys. This is, man.
Lone Peak.
Game management.
Lone Peak 1st and 10 now at the 20. 4 downs plus to get in the end zone. Blake, 4-man rush, steps up, gonna run, plenty of room, and slides with a first down at the 12.
Got to clock it here.
Yep, here they come. Clock stopped, 53.8 seconds to go. Now they run it, and they're not gonna run it, and they're not gonna clock it. Blake gonna throw. He throws, Mayberry, and he gets tackled inbounds at about the 10-yard line. Again, no timeouts for LP. Well, actually, they do actually have a timeout. They'll use one here.
So they had that's the third and final. Yeah, there you go.
So Hatch, it's 2nd down now. What do you do here? I mean, you got 2nd down and about 8 here with 40 seconds left.
It's end zone or out of bounds. You go to the sidelines or you go to the end zone. That's all you can do at this point. 40.7 seconds. Honestly, what you need to do, you need to score on this next one, and then obviously you got to get the onside kick. I'm just looking at timing. Obviously, crazy things can happen here, but the best case scenario, you score on this next play, get the onside kick, and obviously have a chance to tie it up with a field goal.
And speaking of which, Hatch, Pleasant Grove and Skyridge are in overtime. They just announced it. 31-28. Skyridge getting all they could handle from PG. Just as we expected, though. PG is tough.
I've called one of PG's games this year, and they are undersized, but they are plucky, I guess the easiest way to say it. They are a fun team to watch. They've got an absolute baller at quarterback. They are really fun.
Just would be a capper on a crazy night of Region 3 games, wouldn't it?
Yep, no doubt.
We've had a crazy one ourselves here at the foot of the Wasatch Front. 2nd down. Blake. Need to get rid of it. He does! Broken up in the end zone. Kenneth Latu able to get there, and it's 3rd down.
Yeah, you got to – that's a dangerous, dangerous pass there thrown by Jackson Blake.
And this brings up the biggest 3rd down of the night, Hatch. Remember, Lone Peak 1 for 9 on 3rd downs tonight. This is their biggest one of the night by far. As the crowd rises to their feet here at This Is the Place. Blake throws. Intercepted. Isaiah Allen says good night.
Isaiah Allen sat on that corner route, said, you know what, they're going to probably throw this to the corner. I'm going to go take it. And we got a flag down here. We'll see what the call is here, but that is going to seal the win there. What a play there by Isaiah Allen. Great knowledge of, okay, here's probably what they're going to run. Sat on it, picked it off, obviously, and a great play by him to seal a win for the Pioneers. Their first ever varsity win over Lone Peak.
The penalty, I believe, is going to be against Lehi for celebration. A lot of their players were on the field at the time of the interception after the play was dead.
That's when, as a coach, you kind of laugh off, honestly.
And Ed Larson standing out here with hands on his hips. That's not one he's going to be particularly pleased about.
Is he, though? Like, he just won the game.
Well, in hindsight, he won't care. But in the moment,
sure, I get
the
that.
coach in the moment and him saying, "What are you guys doing?"
Here's the thing. Why are we taking so long to figure this out? Let's go.
After the play, red ball and sportsmanlike, number 70. After this, it's going to be first down.
Well, academic at this point. One of the reserves came on the field for Lehi, so
Take one knee, and then that'll be ball game.
the third turnover forced tonight by Jared Harward's defense, and the Lehi Pioneers are going to get their 7th win of the year. For a team that was picked to finish near the bottom of Region 3.
Skyridge, 28-31, Pleasant Grove, 34.
As meanwhile, Pleasant Grove, they just announced it here on the big board, upset Skyridge on the road.
Skull
there,
Vikings.
So there are no more undefeated teams.
Wow, that's a huge result.
So there are no more undefeated teams in 6A. Skyridge falls. As Jet New puts the knee down for the Pioneers, who were picked to finish 4th in Region 3. They have 7 wins, and they have made a whole bunch of believers in this part of the county.
This is the first time that Lehi football, varsity football, was beat Lone Peak Knights.
The first time Lehi has ever beaten Lone Peak in varsity football. What a night here in Lehi. The Pioneers win a wild one, 34-24. We'll be back after this word here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Welcome back to Lehi. What a wild night it has been tonight here at the foot of the Wasatch Mountains. This is the Place Pioneer Stadium. Alexander Tumop alongside Jake Hatch. 34-24. The Pioneers survive a late charge from Lone Peak on this senior night.
Wild
Wow,
game.
Hatch, what a wild game and what a wild second half we had.
Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. It's been a ton of fun, though, honestly. That's the thing. Both these teams battling, obviously. The Pioneers are going to feel really good about themselves, sitting at 7-2 on the season now. Meanwhile, the Lone Peak Knights, stunningly enough, 3-6 on the year.
Yeah, 3-6, 1-3 in Region 3. And how about the Lehi Pioneers? Nobody gave them much of a chance to go above 500, let alone get to multiple wins here before the season started.
Yep.
Here they are sitting 7-2, and even though they're not in the race for the region title anymore, they certainly have proved a lot of people wrong here in this part of the county.
Right in the mix, obviously, as the season comes to the end.
So Hatch, now it's time to name our Heidemann and Associates Player of the Game, presented by the Full Service Law Firm. Committed to winning for you, the clients, as Lehi celebrates with the fans and the students down here on the north end. Hatch, who you got for Player of the Game?
I'm going to give it to the quarterback, Jet New. He battled through a lot. He took a lot of abuse in this game, but he rallied the troops multiple times in this game. That's my guy. That's the guy I'm picking as Player of the Game for me.
Well, Hatch, that was fun. I mean, It wasn't looking good for a better part of the first half when Lehi dominated, but How much does this tell you now about this Lehi team? The fact that they were getting held to the fire in that third quarter, and they were able to do just enough to pull away in the second half. What does this tell you about Ed Larson's team?
Yeah, well, anybody who thought they weren't going to be able to compete at this level was severely mistaken. This is a championship caliber squad, no matter the division and level that they play at. So that's what I learned tonight. Is they can prove themselves against the best of 6A.
And with Skyridge losing in overtime tonight, getting upset by Pleasant Grove at home, this just made Region 3 a whole lot more interesting as we head down the stretch. And it opened up a whole can of worms in 6A.
Yeah, it should be fun, and we'll be tracking it, obviously. You got plenty of coverage to come in the week ahead.
Hatch, that was fun. It was good to be with you. Want to thank Tino Psyche on the camera tonight and all the work behind the scenes with Vince Francis and Dusty Litzer back in Salt Lake. For my broadcast partner, Jake Katz, this has been another presentation of Lone Peak Football on the Rewind Sports Network, presented by G2G Protein Bar. The final score, once again, the Lehi Pioneers 34 and the Lone Peak Knights 24. Until we meet again, aloha from Utah, everyone. Maui, remember we love you, and good night from Utah.